Where? Okay. Okay. So, last time, when we picked up on our humble adventure, we picked up late in the night as the party and the residents of the Padfoot Inn, excluding Alice and the 3 adventurers, gathered around Dorian and Nurgum as they began to explain their trek to the alchemist's hut and the discovery of the death of the alchemist. They recounted their experience approaching the hut, finding the door swinging open in the roaring wind. As they entered, they found the house ransacked and quickly found the corpse of the alchemist covered in puncture wounds and headless. Searching around, they tried to find who was responsible for this, but were unable to find any trace of the killer. With nothing more they could do to help the alchemist, they tried to find for the search for the neem herb. I believe that's what it's called, but I don't have time to double check that. But found nothing. They opted to return back to the inn and inform everyone about what they had seen, realizing they could do no good at the hut. The party questioned Dorian and Nurgum about the event, but didn't get any particularly more information from the questioning, as it seemed they truly had given all they knew. Concerned, Edward and Eric requested that the party do some investigating the next day to help find the ones responsible and hopefully bring a semblance of safety back to the area. Dorian and Nurgum themselves said that the next day they would have to depart, as much as they would like to help with the investigation, with how dangerous the roads seemed to be getting, they would like to get their preparations ready and get a new carriage as soon as they can, so that they can make their way to their destination. However, the party seemed to agree, was curious about investigating at the very least. So, curious both about the murder and the slaughtering of the bears, the party agreed, as everyone settled in bed for that night. Most people slept quite comfortably, while one party member, Isaac, was tormented by a lucid, horrid nightmare. But still, you all were able to get your night's sleep, as the next day picked up and you all had some breakfast and took a moment to talk about some brief things and then departed. Heading for the cave first, you were accompanied by Gallum, who seemed interested in the mystery. Inside the cave, you discovered a gruesome sight. 4 slaughtered bears, their bellies cut open and their heads caved in. From each of their bellies, their entrails were strewn across the floor, moving to a drawn magic circle in the ground. Each line of entrails connected directly to the center. Beryl, using her innate ability to sense magic, examined the circle and the bears, finding necromancy around the edges of the circle and conjuration in the center of it. Necromancy as well surrounded the corpses of the bears. Examining the circle further, Silas was able to determine it was written in an arcane script that had its root in Draconic, the language. Gallum, assisting, was able to determine that this was an ancient arcane script. As well, in the cave, some other investigation discovered footprints of a shoed creature with a larger-than-average footprint, and tracks of 3-toed small reptilian creatures. At least a couple of them. Through Gallum and Silas's combined efforts, they were able to discern that the script roughly translated to leave or depart. Noticing the lingering magic of the circle, Silas decided to probe it further by casting Identify while touching the circle. Successfully casting the spell, he found his mind pulled from him, for a moment, into a vision. In the vision, he saw himself in the perspective of either a small creature or someone not kneeling down. Kneeling on the ground. Around him, the corpses of the bears were fresh and strewn out. In front of him, a figure in black robes with a hood, whose appearance was indiscernible, stood in the middle of the circle, conjuring energies. As the vision continued, 2 obscured, shadowed arms grasped hold of his sides. As they did, the robed figure approached and stabbed him in the gut. As his blood leaked from his belly, it almost crawled into the circle, as a blood-red portal was formed. The vision ended as this happened, as pain filled Silas's mind. Simultaneously, necrotic energies flared up from the circle, shooting across the room, swelling around the party and the bears. As it swept over the bears, it seeped into them, raising them up as animated corpses. A fight broke out as they attacked the party and Gallum. The party, with Gallum's assistance, quickly dispatched the undead bears, killing them for good, hopefully this time. After the fight was concluded, it was theorized that the surge of necrotic energy was likely due to the lingering magic reacting to Silas's identification spell. After Silas revealed the vision he saw, it was also pointed out that it was unusual for visions to be seen when casting the spell Identify. The visions in the investigation were enough to help the party deduce that perhaps the circle was used for some sort of it was enough to help the party deduce that the circle was assuredly used for transportation. You theorized that perhaps the murderer who killed the alchemist used this circle to leave after committing the deed. Some discussion was had before deciding it was best to move on to the alchemist's hut, as they had likely discovered all they would in the cave. The party took an hour to recoup and then went off toward the alchemist's hut. At the hut, they found the door barely hanging on its hinges. The stairway and entrance were covered in a thick blanket of snow. As they entered, they found themselves in a kitchen/workshop room, where they found the ransacked workshop and the corpse of the alchemist Malron. His body was covered in small puncture wounds akin to what a dagger would inflict. His head was cleanly severed at the neck, nowhere to be seen. The neck also leaked faint necrotic energy around it, where the head used to stand. Investigating the room, they were able to find one thing: a secret compartment where what looked like a shattered glass container sat. Using the mending spell, Silas fixed the label of the shattered glass container, revealing that the label once said unicorn horn. This seemed to concern Gallum, and it led to some conflict in the party as discussions about the killing of unicorns came up. But nonetheless, finding what they could in this room, some folk split away and went to investigate the bedroom, where they found Malron's journal, which detailed a recipe he had for crafting healing potion and his affairs. It mentioned several times that he had been pestered by an individual wishing to purchase the unicorn horn from him. After refusing to correspond each time, as he had no intent of giving the unicorn horn over, the letters became more violent and more demanding. He last mentioned the letters, saying that he dropped them off in Arbington with the authorities. As well, the journal mentioned him going into the city every so often. It did not specify which city, and it also said each time that he was going to visit Journey, or on his notes where he was saying that he possibly needed to go into the city, he'd say, might go visit Journey. Additionally, inside the room, a pouch made to look like a griffin was found that had some magical energies on it that was not discerned any further aside from that. And inside was a fair amount of coin, which again, some conflict arose from. It was eventually dumped on the bed, and then the coin went missing, until it was revealed that it was taken by Carolina, which led to another string of conflict between the party members as arguments continued. At the same time, Isaac was able to find a compartment inside the wardrobe, which had a series of potions in them, including an elixir of health, something that helps mend diseases, status effects, and other such things. They were divvied up amongst the party, the potions, with Isaac not revealing what the elixir of health actually was and pocketing it for himself. Fully concerned by this point, after seeing the journal, Gallum admitted that unicorn horns can be used for dark things, and that he was very concerned with the taking of the unicorn horn and what it could possibly mean. Yet, he admitted that he was sworn to an oath to not tell anyone what his concern would be. So, departing quickly, he left, heading toward his destination, which was the capital of Destin, Camelon, where he would inform the highest authority possible of this unicorn horn and it being taken. The party, continuing arguments for quite a while inside the house, eventually seemed to move on from it after some yelling and such, and opted to return back to the inn, saying that, believing that the murderer was gone and that the surrounding area was as safe as it could be at the very least. Returning back to the inn, you informed Edward and Eric of this, and they were rather grateful. Giving you directions and marking Arbington on the map, they told you that you could make it there in a day's travel. Possibly a day and 2 hours. And if you really rushed it, you might be able to make it, before the day's end. Or before the dawn of the next day, you might be able to make it. If you really rushed it. But nonetheless, the party did the investigating that they could, and opted to travel on the road. Does anyone have any questions before we get back into it? Comments, concerns, anything I left out that you feel I should not have and I forgot? No? Okay. Then we are going to get back into it. As we pick up during your travel, 4 hours have passed now since you have left the Padfoot Inn, as you have been traveling on the road. As you've traveled, you first had to ascend a bit higher up the mountain, and as the hours passed and as the day went by, it got colder and colder. But once you got past a certain point and started descending again, you started to notice that there's a lot less snow present on the ground as you make your way down, indicating perhaps that the blizzard did not reach as far past the inn as you may believe after 4 hours of travel. There is light snow on the ground, and you're seeing patches of just no snow in some places as well. But it is still... What? What'd you say?
Has the elevation changed?
You need to say that again. You, were distorted for...
The elevation?
Has the elevation changed? Yes, you ascended and then descended. So you've slightly changed elevation. And 4 hours have passed. By this point, you've changed elevation. You didn't go up too high, but you started descending a bit, lower. The, Padfoot Inn's at the top of, a hill near a mountain, but isn't super high. You're basically making your way down the hill by this point. And you're not in any, steep inclines or anything now. As you have been traveling, it's been a rather normal day. Like I said, it's rather cold still, bitterly, as the wind rushes over each of you. But at this 4th hour, you are all moving down the road. You begin to spot something in the distance. What looks like a pillar of stone, a bit smaller than a tree, off in the distance. You can't make it out well from this distance, but it seems to be in the way of the path you're going. So, as you continue on, you begin to see more and more of it. And eventually you see it in its full glory, as approaching, you see off on the side of the road, in a small clearing, what looks like a tall stone obelisk standing about 40 feet tall, that is about 5 feet wide. Sorry, 1 second, I lost my thing. 5 feet wide. It forms a triangular tip at the top of it, and across its body, arcane runes that slightly glow a pure blue arcane essence are carved into it. I'd like everyone except for Josie, Beryl, and Silas to roll history. Silas, the reason you're not rolling is because you know what this is. Your master have told you of this before, and yes, you've likely been seeing depictions of it. That was Whispered Rogue, but it's a 17, so everyone knows.
Could I get, a text, if you wanted to be quiet, what Silas would know specifically?
I'm going to describe what you would know in a minute, because I'm waiting for everyone else to roll their histories first. You're not going to know anything more than anyone with the highest history roll, so...
Sorry, my character sheet was slow.
Okay. Was that everyone?
It happens.
Yes.
Roll 20.
Okay. Isaac, it looks vaguely familiar to you. You've definitely seen this, something like this before, but the name is just escaping you, and the context and importance of it is escaping you as well. However, Carolina, Wiz, and, of course, Silas, you Astrid as well, you definitely know what this is. This is a Mistran obelisk. Fragments of gifts that the gifts, yes, gifts. God fucking damn it, gifts that the goddess of magic Mistra, when she was alive long, long ago, were left on the prime material plane. Obelisks that contained energy that she would give to faithful, knowledge that she would store, and other such things. They have lasted since a cataclysmic event known as the Spell Plague, which happened over 3,000 years ago. They are rather strange natural wonders of the world, and through arcane interaction and investigation, one can possibly gain knowledge and power from them, as they still have some lingering energies in them. Some of them are completely, inert, gone, no more magic in them, but you all can tell, those of you that are aware of what this is, the Mistran Obelisk, you can tell that there is magic that still lingers within this, within the stone, as, it is definitely glowing a pure arcane hum. As it stands tall, slightly covered in, grown vines and such at the side of it. What do you all do?
Silas is approaching it immediately.
Okay.
I'm running towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get the name of the
Mistran, yes, sorry. This is how you spell that, and this is how you spell her name. She is not the goddess of magic anymore. She is dead. So that I was clear on that. I hope I was at the very least.
And just because I shouldn't make assumptions. Would those of the party that know what this is, would they tell the people that didn't?
I didn't hear anybody saying anything, so I don't assume so. But I was giving everyone a minute to say, what they wanted to say, and such.
I mean, if Beryl asks, Astrid will tell her, but...
I haven't seen one of these. I've only heard things about these. I've never seen.
Jake, quick question. Would I have any idea, not the exact amount, but roughly how many of these or how rare they are in the world?
No. They were abundant back in the day before the Spell Plague, and they were just not... They weren't physically destroyed unless something destroyed them, so there could be who knows how many left.
Okay.
Isaac will see running to them and be like, what a curious construct. What exactly is it? I seem to remember something, but I can't place it.
I believe they were called Mistrian. That's how you say it, right?
Mistran.
Mistran obelisk. They're from an old goddess who's now dead.
On that note, Jake, is there a new god or goddess of magic to replace her?
Yeah, you can roll religion at advantage, I'm sure you would know, or history, whichever you prefer.
I'm better at history.
Yeah, yes, there is a god of magic that, took her place, Sidar, the god of magic. He is actually a relative of Mistra. He is her son.
I know that fella.
You know the name.
Not in this game.
Not in this game.
Boy, Silas, what are you doing running at that thing?
I'm going to touch it, at the very least, and if we're not going to stay here for very long since we are on a schedule, I would understand, and if that's the case, I'm going to mark it on my map and come back here at some point.
What do these things do?
For many people, nothing. For some people, a variety of things. You would need to, for lack of better words, commune with it magically.
I'm gonna study it first.
Hearing this, Isaac will start to quicken his step towards it too. He's now very curious.
Sure.
Silas isn't trying to win a race to it.
Sure,
just going
sure.
in.
I mean, you all eventually make your way up to the obelisk. Is anyone else doing anything while those three approach it?
I
I'd
walk
like to draw it.
I walk lazily behind everybody.
Okay. What did you say,
Yeah.
Astrid?
I want to draw it.
You want to draw it? Okay.
Yeah.
You can roll a performance check. Won't be a high DC.
Sorry, I had to do that first.
Yeah, you draw a
You draw-
near
you draw- yeah, fuck, I know
perfect,
you're drawing
near
for it.
perfect depiction of it.
Excellent use of that.
But okay, the three of you approach up to. Sorry, Beryl. What did you say actually? And Carolina, you're following lazily. You're following lazily behind Carolina. What did you say?
I'm not exactly approaching it yet, but I'm still following along.
Okay. So Isaac, Wiz, and Silas, the three of you, make your way up to the pillar. As you do, those of you trained with Arcana feel a faint emanating of magic around it in the area. And once you step up closer to it, you notice that the temperature changes as you walk up to the obelisk. It is now a comfortable sort of temperature as you approach it. It's no longer that bitter cold. It's nice and, temperate and not too warm and not too cold. It's sort of in between. And there is a lingering magic in the air around it.
Oh, that's a hot rock.
Seems to be affecting the climate.
Jake, I'm gonna ask you a quick question. It's a yes or no question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, kind of.
Better be a yes or no question. I don't take kind ofs these days.
It's a one-word answer.
It was draconic, like I said in the,
Okay.
Is there
There we
a
go.
way to see if this thing has been recently interacted with or activated?
Not particularly.
Okay. Do they normally just glow all the time?
It depends. Usually, if they have magic stored within them, they'll glow the runes.
Okay.
But you know that when they run out of magic, they no longer glow.
Okay, so it's not like the oven on light then necessarily.
And if you're drawing it and looking for that, you can roll a history again. You can tell that this one is likely particularly low on magic because of how low the glow is. So, what do the three of you do?
Silas, do these things contain knowledge of any sort?
They might. I am unsure.
Curious.
They were created by the original goddess of magic, and they were a boon at one time. Some still are boons.
Created by the gods, you say?
Created by a goddess. The formerly Mistra. I believe Astrid already mentioned.
Isaac is extremely fascinated now, and he's going to begin to ritually cast Identify on it.
You're gonna touch it?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're interacting with it with magic?
Yes.
As you do so, the runes glow bright at your touch and at the magic flowing into it, as you see it slightly part in the middle, moving up as energy flows through it as you touch it. You can see a push from you, Isaac, of your magic flowing into it, but also a pull you can feel from your fingers as you are pressing against it. Are you hard casting Identify or ritually casting?
Ritually casting.
And you feel very low amount of magic heading into it. Are you just gonna try and ritually cast the spell even at that, seeing it?
I believe that because Identify is part of my book, I can only ritually cast it.
No, I was just asking if you're gonna keep doing it, like you don't stop at seeing the reaction.
Not at all. No,
Okay.
he's going deep.
Well, it's gonna take 10 minutes and he's doing that, so... Anyone else do anything?
Do you all mind?
I start to do some stretches.
I'm
Don't
sorry,
mind
but
at all.
the topic of the gods is a bit of a guilty pleasure.
I was gonna let Wiz say what he was doing before I say what I'm doing, since he was sprinting ahead.
Yes. Wiz.
He just kind of looks at Isaac and just sits in the snow and waits.
Okay. Isaac, as you cast Identify on it, ritually, I need you to roll an Arcana check.
I can do that.
While he's identifying it, Silas intended on touching it, like kneeling beside it actually, and touching it with one hand and resting his forehead against it.
Sure. You touch it with
Um,
one hand. Rest your forehead against
And
it.
he's going to make a prayer in Draconic to the former Mistra and the current Sidar
Okay.
for a blessing event or blessing or insight at this sacred place, as in Silas's mind at least.
Okay. You're doing that. Geez, nat 20. As you flare, your magic through it, Isaac, you learn that this is an old, piece of history, but you're not able to pull what its function was from it. Perhaps it's been lost to time, but you do know that it was created by Mistra, goddess of magic, and you learn of her. You learn of her existence. She died long ago, leading to the cataclysmic event known as the Spell Plague. You learn that as well as you touch against it. And you also learn that there is power that lingers within this. It is not incredibly strong, nor does it seem like it is a combative boon. It seems like there is lingering faint, and I mean faint knowledge that is within it. But you can tell that should the knowledge be pulled from it, the obelisk will lose all of its magical properties. Do you attempt to pull?
Yes.
You're going to try and pull it?
Yes.
Okay. You rolled a nat 20, so you don't have to roll again as you pull the knowledge from it, as all of you would see Isaac's fingers against the base of the obelisk would begin to pull magical energy into these. You would see almost a glove covering over Isaac's arm as he siphons the magic into it. Isaac, you close your eyes involuntarily as your mind is pulled from your own into a vision. As you are not yourself as the vision goes. You are a druid, an elven woman. Name? Forgotten. Unable to discern from the stone. You are a keeper of this forest. You watch over the creatures and try to tend to them the best you can. The goddess Mistra has been a boon in this regard, despite her being the Lady of Magic and not the Lady of Nature. She has still given blessings where she can to the prime material to help you maintain the woods. You have particularly done a lot of your training trying to help integrate and protect and, again, integrate Sneetreebers into the wild in a more... what's the word? Non-destructive way, as currently they are creatures that are a bit destructive to the ecosystems. And Isaac, you would know that that's not particularly the case anymore. Seeing that in your in the vision, as they are basically natural creatures by this point with just peculiar origins as monstrosities. You go about your duties every day, tending to the forest, healing the wounded animals that are wounded by the hubris of mortals, with their ever-growing civilization. You have a scorn towards that civilization, to the gods of law, Bahamut, Erithis. As their encroaching on the woods continues, the suffering of those that live within them the suffering grows every day. All is normal, though, for the most part, until one day a crack is heard almost like something shattering all throughout the land. As you look around, you see a wild flame completely of blue spread from all corners of the sky, engulfing the world. Trying to act quick, you have to make a decision. The creatures you are trying to guard with your life, or your own life, perhaps. The decision you make is the selfless one. Shielding the Schneetriebers and other magical creatures of the forest, you fend off the blue flame. As it does, it moves over you. It does not burn. Instead, it is a terrible cold as you feel your body lock up and slowly begin to turn into a crystallized form and shatter. But your job was done, and the forest was protected. As you drain the energy from the pillar, the temperate climate around it drops as you all do not feel the nice, warmth around you anymore. It feels like the normal area, and the runes glow no longer. Isaac, you gain a permanent +1 to nature checks from interacting with it.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
As you are pulled out from the vision, forcibly removing your hand from it, shaking a bit from the trauma of the blue flame moving over you. As soon after, the magic in the air would fade.
So I'd feel the magic fade from the stone I'm touching?
Yes.
Tablis?
Mm-hmm.
That was intense.
Mr. Darrow, are you alright?
I think so. I think it was just a vision.
Just a vision.
I may have dived a little too deep into the obelisk.
Share with the class pricks more.
And I explained to them that I had a vision as an elven druid woman who was crystallized by a blue flame that cracked through the sky, but the flame was cold. And that the elven woman died protecting the forest that she protected.
Those of you that know about the obelisk can roll history, again, at hearing that. And you can roll history as well, Beryl, hearing the blue flame. Because this was not something that only affected the prime material plane. It affected everywhere.
Oh.
Yes, Silas, you know what this is. Carolina, Astrid, just doesn't cut it. Wiz, you kind of know what this is. You have heard the spell plague, which you vaguely know about, be referred to as the spreading blue flame before. Silas, you know for a fact that the spell plague was a cataclysmic event that spread like a blue flame across the land and covered creatures that could conjure magic, either killing them instantly or changing them forever, mutating them, or sealing them in a crystalline prison to either be killed later or forever be trapped within. Beryl, you would have heard tales in the Feywild of the blue flame as it swept across the Feywild and killed many. You know that it is something that is sort of a tragic event that is remembered every so often. You have heard the name, you have heard it only referred to as the blue flame before. You don't know anything about like spell plague or anything like that. And you just know it's spread across the land, this cold blue flame.
Would Isaac have recognized that too as a?
Yeah, you gained the knowledge as you pulled through it, so you know that was the spell plague.
Would I know it as would he, Isaac, not just after gaining knowledge, would I have recognized that as the spell plague?
You can roll history to see if you would have.
I am a sage of creation.
Say that's an advantage then.
Okay.
Yes, you would have known that that was the spell plague before even rolling at it. What do you all do?
Silas will give a slightly sour look, not at Isaac, not even at anyone, just at the energy not being there anymore. Perhaps, should we come across another as a group, allow a different individual to draw on the knowledge of Mistra?
I'm terribly sorry. My curiosity got the better of me. I didn't know that would happen.
I wasn't attempting to accuse.
I appreciate you all letting me go through with that, though.
I'm glad someone gained knowledge from the stone before it lost whatever lingering energies it had. I'm going to pull out my map and attempt to mark roughly on the map where the stone is, this obelisk.
Yeah, sure. You can roughly mark it on the map. It's, not too far from the Padfoot Inn, so...
Yeah, I would do so as well.
Okay. You mark it on the map.
So what exactly
Everyone
was
say-
that happened?
Everyone say hi to Dylan in chat real quick.
Hi, Dylan.
Okay. Now go back to it.
Hi, Dylan, in
Sorry.
the chat.
Go on.
What exactly was that event?
I explained the nature of the spell plague.
To
well, it
summarize
was-
what he knows, the spell plague was reaction to the death of Mistra that spread across the land, targeting individuals of magical nature and even harming some of those with, no magical nature that spread across them and engulfed them in blue flame, either mutating them and changing them forever, or killing them, or turning them into a form of crystals.
You know how she died?
Do I know how she died?
You felt yourself shatter after becoming crystals. That's why it was so traumatic.
How Mistra died.
How Mistra died?
No.
No. Nobody would know. Nobody that you have ever met would have known how Mistra died. Just that she died.
After Current West Carolina asked that, Silas would be quick to jump in and go, no one knows how the goddess of magic died.
Isaac, I suppose Silas knows this already and Ben knows this already, so I'd have to explain this to you, I think, because I think you remember this, Ben. But the spell plague also changed the nature of how magic worked completely. There have been several different sections of magic. The first magic to ever be used is known as first magic. It is magic that deities and gods use. And 1 second, let me pull up the exact stuff. Here we go. First magic, also known as true magic, is the first level of magic, the first form of it. It's used by the gods and other deity-like figures. Second magic, also known as the immortal magic, was magic that magic users before the spell plague used. But when the spell plague occurred, it wiped out any sort of possibility of using second magic. Then there's Draconic magic, which kind of falls in between the second magic and third magic, which is the current magic that you use and that everyone in the party you can use magic uses, the magic of mortals. Hope that made sense the way I explained that. Okay.
Isaac, if you're going to tell him all that...
Yeah.
Silas would lamentally follow it with, and it is also what robbed elves of their immortality.
Jake, would my magic also fall under that category?
Yes, all magic is third magic.
Okay.
There's no second magic left that anyone knows about.
But if the seemingly factual statement from a much wiser man than anyone else I've met, much more knowledgeable, you would say, man, is not actually factual, then I certainly hope to find the individual that knows the origins of her death, or secrets therein. But I don't expect to find it.
The nature of the gods is beyond mortals, but hopefully not forever.
Quite interesting.
It's a fascinating subject.
Yes, it is.
I could go on about it.
The event.
So I didn't know about the event, but did I know about the spell plague?
Which event?
How it was, like the fire, like the spell plague itself.
You may. What'd you roll
I rolled
initially? What'd you roll initially for the Mistra thing?
Initially for the old scene.
Okay, and then you rolled again, and you rolled a 8. You've heard the name Spell Plague before, but you didn't know the nitty-gritty of it. Say about the same is true for you, Astrid. You knew the name, but you couldn't... You probably had learned it before, because it likely would have been taught to you, but you just don't...
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
that
you don't
day.
particularly remember.
Didn't retain.
And Josie, you just don't got any of it.
What the fuck is magic?
Wiz, Wiz, I explained what you know. I hope you caught that, correct? Okay.
Well, if we need a couple more minutes, we can take here. If not, I think we should continue.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Okay, take your time.
done. No, I could write and walk. I'm used to it.
Let's get going. If everyone's ready. Maybe keep an eye out for more of these.
Yes, there is.
Silas will give we'll give a very sentimental look and one last touch to the stone before he walks, or obelisk. I'll stop calling it stone, and walk away.
As you touch it, you feel the last bit of fading energy fade at your fingertips as you remove your hand from it.
Yep.
Now just a relic of the past, no longer containing anything.
I drank it all up
Nice going.
Like a
Once
magic
you start-
vampire. Yeah.
like a
Once
magic
we start
milkshake.
walking again, Astrid's gonna keep pace with Isaac to make sure he doesn't just fall on his face.
Okay. Isaac, how are you writing? Are you writing through what you messaged me before?
No, he's too excited.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. As you all continue forward, what pace are you guys going at? So, this is what I need to know. Are you trying to make it there before tomorrow's next dawn, therefore at a fast pace? Or are you trying to, take it slow, take it normal pace, and just get there when you get there?
I guess time question on rough distance knowledge since I was given how many days it was from Trevine to our destination.
What destination?
About how many days away are we?
From Wolford?
Not from. Yeah.
Currently where you are, or how many days will you be from, Arbington to Wolford?
I guess that's just as easy to answer. How many days is Arbington?
Arbington.
Wolford? Arbington. Okay.
Yes. About 8 days.
And we need to be there.
That's at a normal pace, assuming you only travel, 8 hours a day.
For the 21st.
Yeah, close.
Gonna say fast pace.
Yeah, imagining that
It would be Silas's vote.
we'd also have.
Well, also, following the roads and with you descending as well, accounting for it's probably going to be a bit less than 8 days, maybe. If you're just taking normal pace. But again, this assumes you're traveling 8 hours a day, at normal pace to get there, in 8 days, about.
That's true. We can always move faster after.
And today is the 11th, so you're aware.
Right.
So even if 8 days, you'd get there on the 19th, which would give you 2 days before, Winter Remembrance.
think we should
So-
probably at least spend a day in Arbington.
Yeah, Isaac would be very. Well, maybe not spending a day, but he definitely wants to stop by.
And this is without accounting for any like mounts you could possibly get
in this town, yeah.
if you do so. Yes.
I guess I'll actually alter. Silas would defer to whatever speed Isaac is comfortable going, depending on how long he's riding. He wouldn't want to screw up his journaling.
Yeah, he writes for maybe 5 minutes. He's just writing down. I could just tell you just what the vision is and what it felt like and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say fast pace then.
So you guys gonna try and do fast pace?
I'm okay with that.
That will incur a -5 to all of your passive checks, just so you're aware. Moving at fast pace, and it will move. Any of you will be unable to stealth. Silas should use his ult to steal, find speed spells. Yeah, nice League of Legends reference, dickhead. Sorry about that.
We don't do that here.
League is illegal.
Correct.
That's the only acknowledgement that the chat's gonna get after that one. Again, sorry. Focusing on this now. Sorry, Dylan. Okay. So, yeah. So, you guys are gonna do fast pace, that you're all in agreement of that? Not being able to stealth, -5?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So, moving fast pace, rushing down the road towards your destination. As you do, the night grows dark, but off in the distance, you see what looks like dim light from what looks like a road where you could just see the bits of buildings coming. As you see Arbington off in the distance as you are rushing forward, continuing. However, before you can reach there, as you all are rushing through the wood, you all, for a moment, hear what sounds like rustling around you. But before any of you can react, 4 arrows loose with a loud noise headed out towards a different member of the party, each one, as just a 5 arrows, each heading towards a different person. As they shoot out toward you, let me do something very quickly. Just 1 minute. Trying to find my my music, because I don't know where it is. There you are. As the arrows loose, shooting out toward you all. As boom, one by one, they shoot out toward... Let's see. Who are the lucky individuals? So, one would shoot out toward Beryl, one then towards Carolina, one toward Josie. Beryl, Carolina, Josie. One towards Astrid, and then one towards Silas. So, Wiz and Isaac, you two are the only two that did not get shot at, I think.
Yep.
Yes. So, let's see. Trying to get my thing open for these shots. As we will do... First, we will do Josie and Isaac. Not Isaac, sorry, Silas. As... Josie, 21, does that hit you?
Yep.
Alright, as you are pinged in the side by an arrow, taking 6 piercing damage. Silas, does a 20 hit you?
Do I have a reaction?
You do not. This counts as being surprised.
Then, absolutely.
Okay. As you take 4 piercing.
Okay.
As then, toward Astrid, does a 18 hit.
Yep.
going to be 5 piercing to you.
Okay.
And then toward... Beryl and Carolina, 1 at each. Does a 10 on Beryl. That sucks. Wow. As it just misses Beryl off the mark. But 18 at you, Carolina.
Yeah, that hits.
Alright, as you take 3 piercing. Wow. As these arrows sink into you, as you hear the rustling about, and then 2 large skeletal horses, dressed like what look like war horses, shoot out from the side of the forest, each with what look like 2 undead creatures atop them. On one horse, you see 2 skeletons, both holding 2 short bows and scimitars on them as well. And then on the other horse, what looks like a pale white skinned humanoid creature with bleach white hair, with flesh that is sort of gaunt and sucked in onto its body. You can see the bone under it. That looks very dead and very malnourished as well. And a skeleton on the back of that additionally. I am going to pull you guys here. And then I'd like you guys to organize yourself in what order you'd be in, and then I will reveal the encounter.
Which way would we have been traveling? Just forward?
Forward.
Upward?
Yeah, upward. Did you see that? Did you see that? No, you didn't see that. So you're traveling upward like that.
Yeah, okay. That'd probably be somewhere towards the back.
Okay. Is that everyone's positioning? Nope.
I mean, I wouldn't be ahead of Josie at any time.
Okay.
I can't grab myself.
You can't grab yourself.
Yeah,
No.
when I was moving myself, the whole map was moving too. It was weird.
Oh, I have to go to the square next to mine. That's how that works. I click on the token, it doesn't work.
You
just have to do that.
probably gonna have to refresh.
Yeah, it's super annoying.
Okay. As all of you organize the way you are...
Isaac and Astra stayed ahead of everybody?
I mean, Isaac was just chilling.
This is how we were traveling. We didn't have notice of being
As you
attacked.
see, what looks like the armored large war horses coming at you. That's the token for them. The skeletons on their back with the short bow, and then this pale creature as well with a bow and a long sword sheathed on its side. As we're gonna roll initiative. Don't roll anything yet. As now you can all roll. While you guys go roll, I'm going to go use the restroom because I have to use the bathroom. So, I will be right back.
Probably go to the bathroom and not the restroom.
Yes.
Right?
Stop.
Yeah, Beryl wanted to go. Go.
I've been getting some low initiatives lately.
I mean, 3 is not a bad initiative bonus. But
No.
Bar being a bard or someone with a feat can't get much better than that, in fact.
I
Without going above 20.
I just bumped my strength and dex up, so.
The virtues of not being multi-classed. I gotta wait 2 more levels before I get an ASI.
Okay. As I roll the initiatives for
That's
the
okay.
enemies. Ooh,
I will
that's
suffer in the beginning.
a
to get
good
in.
initiative for that guy.
Jake, if you're talking to us, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm realizing that I was muted.
Okay.
I was mostly talking to myself because I'm rolling initiative.
Okay.
One of them rolled real fucking well. Another one rolled real fucking well.
Are we allowed to roll?
Yeah, I said you can roll.
Yeah.
Alright, it's my character sheet's being weird again, so I can't see that anybody's rolled yet.
Yeah, I would definitely restart roll 20.
It's reloading right now, baby. This is the result of reloading.
Do you want me to roll your initiative?
I clicked it. We'll see what happens. Did it take?
Oh,
Oh,
Did.
not very
It
good.
did, and then it punished me.
As we're gonna start the combat off with the skeleton atop this horse's back. As it is stationary, it looses another arrow shooting out towards the target it went for last time, which was Astrid. That is a nat 20.
Yeah.
Alright,
Skyrim
as you
music
take
only
6
hurts
piercing
more.
damage.
Oh, that's
Okay.
not so bad.
That is Skyrim music. That's weird, because this is definitely a Pillars of Eternity combat playlist. So, definitely not the same game. As that is the skeleton, as it goes to Barrel.
Okay. Yikes! They're all up in this place. Okay. I am going to. Let's see. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try not raging right now. I'm going to use my action to cast Earthen Grasp
Mm-hmm.
against this horse.
Okay. Like the spell. And you have that with your... It's a second. Okay, so you got that one already, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
that one.
Square, medium hand. Target must make a strength saving throw and fail. These are strained. Okay. Strength save, what's your DC?
14.
Okay. Not terrible at strength. But rolling a natural 3 is going to do it, as a 7 does not make your save. As
it is
he is
restrained.
grasped and held in its in the grasp, the horses, not the other two, just the horse.
That takes 5 bludgeoning damage.
As the bludgeoning crushes into it, you hear some of the bones snap, and you see shards of it coming down. It appears to be much more effective on the creature.
Excellent. Okay, and then I am going to move. Let's see. A lot of our castery folks on the left side. So I'm going to run and engage the one to the left. Moving to there.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to... No, I am going to free action Feywalker's Rush.
Okay.
And move to there.
Okay. Is that you?
That is me.
So it goes to the horse and the white, or the pale creature. They both go on the same turn, with them being the mounted leader. As the horse is going to trample its hooves out toward you, Barrel, to smack into you. As a 12 will definitely not do it, so.
Yeah.
As that does not happen. Misses. But, standing there still, seeing you run up to it, the pale creature on the back is going to reach its hand out and touch you as it goes to grasp onto you with its arm as necrotic energy emanates from it. That's a 15, and that's a miss.
That misses, yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Then the horse is going to dart away from you. Its speed is very fast as it darts away from you, so you can take opportunity attack, but it will be at disadvantage.
Okay.
As it moves That still hits, though.
Nice.
As a 13 will hit, you smack into it as it runs off. Well, you do bludgeoning damage. You smack into it. You actually crack the side of the horse's skull. As it does, it falls to the ground dead as it tries to run away. There, collapsing to the ground, making the creature on the back fall with it and the skeleton as well. As standing up, the creature on the back lets out a hiss and will just take its bow and shoot an arrow out towards the target it was going for still, which was Astrid. Seeing how bad she looks, as it will shoot out toward her. 10's gonna miss, and then it will move whatever it can, which is just going to be to there, as that is it. As it goes to you, Josie.
Cool. I'm going to try to shoot that woman.
The pale creature?
Yes.
Okay.
That old woman.
You can't really discern gender, it just looks like a pale walking corpse.
She just feels like a bitch.
She does. She's got bitch energy.
Big bitch.
Yeah, definitely hits. As a loud bang is heard throughout the forest. As you shoot into it, drawing a black blood ichor from it as it slams onto the ground.
Gross.
Actually, sorry, no. As you shoot, though, it does look like the bullet does not hurt as well as it should normally. As it seems not as effective. But it does do damage still.
Alright. That's me.
Okay. Silas?
Did it look like it kind of dodged it, or just
no,
like
it just
it wasn't
looked like
as
it
effective?
wasn't. It just looked like the damage wasn't as effective. Did not look like it dodged.
Okay. Let me make a quick measurement here. Yep, okay. Gonna move to here. Bonus action, Blade Song.
Okay.
As I just tap my rapier as it begins humming the magical energies. And then action, I'm going to cast Chill Touch on this creature.
Okay. That hits.
Ignore the one weapon damage.
Yes.
Just one necrotic. That's okay. The reason I did it, since it's not.
Well,
it's undead, correct?
you can't reduce 1 to 0, so.
Is it an undead creature?
Yes, it is certainly an undead.
Then it has disadvantage on the next attack that it makes.
Okay.
That's my. Oh, and free action. I'm also gonna mark it with Song of Assault.
Okay.
Was that against one of the skeletons or the horse?
That was against the pale creature.
The pale creature. All that was against the pale creature.
Jeez.
So I'll give him
Oh,
that.
Chill Touch. I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking.
Wait. You still wait,
What?
but Silas is over here on my screen.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
Chill
100
Touch has
it's
a range of
120
120 feet.
It has 120
Oh.
feet range, yeah.
It neither is chilling nor touching. Terribly named the spell.
Well,
All right.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, you can say...
summon-
Yeah, go ahead. No,
hand
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Funny.
Technically, to describe flavor of the spell, actually, there would still be a spectral hand gripping into the shoulder of the pale creature. Which
Yes.
that was what I summoned with the spell.
Yes, a
I
spectral
thought my
hand.
thing was like messed up. I was like, wait a minute.
James,
Nope.
we don't need to hear about your thing. Let's not be weird here.
Gumby arms.
No, I'm
It's
kidding.
canon.
Okay, so, that's you.
That is me.
As it goes to this skeleton, with you as close as you are, it'll draw its short sword and will swing out at you. That's going to be an 18.
That will miss.
Okay. As that'll be him. Carolina.
All right.
Take your time. Every move matters. Counts. James, you talking?
Yeah?
You muted yourself, I think.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yeah,
We hear you now.
We hear you now. What are you doing?
Didn't say I was muted. I move over here,
Okay.
and I'm going to attack this skeleton.
Okay. I shall flourish out towards it. That's definitely a hit, yeah, as you slash into it. Yeah, you have a sneak attack? You do, because nobody else is within 5 feet. Yeah, as you take your rapier and you cleave up it, tearing through the bone as you cut it in half as it falls to the ground dead. In one fell swipe. Is that you?
For the tandem technician, does the person I'm helping have to be within 10 feet of the creature, or?
It has to be within 10 feet to use the bonus action help action.
Oh, okay.
I believe that's how it reads.
Yeah. Just making sure. Alright, I'm going to...
You can use the help action, yeah, you can help action one person within 10 feet of you.
I'm going to bonus action help Isaac.
Okay. As you'll give the help action to Isaac, he has advantage on a weapon attack against the creature if he does that.
Oh, it has to be a weapon attack?
Well, no, it's not I don't think it has to be a weapon attack. I think it's just an attack, but I'm not positive. Let me see.
Help action affects an attack roll or a skill check.
Yeah.
Well, if it's an attack roll, then it's an attack roll,
Yeah,
so.
it's attacking creature.
So if it's an attack roll, it can count for a spell as well.
Neat.
Yes. So your
Yeah,
next
fine.
attack roll will be an advantage if it's at... Yeah. Okay, if you're doing an attack roll. That's you?
Yeah.
So it goes to Wiz.
Okay. He'll extend both of his paws over here and cast Bane on all of our enemies.
Okay, all of them within range.
Yep.
Charisma saving throw.
Yes, DC 12.
Okay. The pale creature just makes it. Yep, that's a success. Then the skeletons, the two left. I'd be surprised if they... Yeah, no way. Yeah, they're both baned. And then the horse. Horse nat 20's it.
And he'll cast a bonus action Sanctuary on himself.
Okay. As the two skeletons, however, are baned. And Wiz, you can tell that there's a guile behind the pale creature's, sort of eyes and look that the skeletons and other undead you've come across don't have. It appears to not just be a mindless, animated corpse. There's definitely some intelligence there.
He turns his gaze away from it, and that's the end of his turn.
Okay. But its eyes do linger on you after you cast your spell as well. As it goes to you, Isaac.
I will finger gun point to the pale one and shoot an Eldritch Blast at advantage.
Okay. That's gonna hit, yeah. It's the horse. No, it's the horse. Alright, as it takes the 9 force damage as it pows into it, making a small hole in the side of its armor as the black ichor leaks out from its open wound.
That's me.
Can't resist
I'll
force damage.
I'll give a nod to Isaac.
Okay. As it'll go to the horse, who is going to make a hoof attack at you, Silas.
Alright.
That is a nat 20.
Should be at disadvantage because he's restrained.
Okay. Then it's an 11, so it misses.
Yeah.
When does he repeat his
Guys, your
save?
horse.
I believe... Let me see, let me check the spell. It has to use its action to make a strength check against my spell save DC.
Okay. Well, I already made it roll, so I'm not going to make it do that then. Because I know it missed. So it's just restrained still. as that is him.
Attacks against it have advantage.
Yes, because it's restrained. As it goes to the skeleton is going to take its short sword attack at you, Silas, as it'll swing.
Okay.
As 19 misses without the -4, so minus D4. That's him. As it'll go to Astrid.
Okay, so I am going to cast Shatter.
Mm-hmm. Where are you going to do so?
Right here. It's 10-foot radius, so right
It'll
there.
get all of them it'll get all of them. Won't get Silas if you want to move it a bit closer.
I don't. I don't know. He's been all right today so far. Maybe later.
Just divvy out the damage a bit. You know, it's a bit unfair for me. I'm just trying to have a combat here. Now, go ahead. Okay. Link the spell. Ooh, that's big damage too.
That's a big.
That's a good damage
That's
roll.
good damage roll. Wow.
Oof.
How do I link the spell?
You did. You linked it already.
Oh.
And the damage is there. Both skeletons fail, and then the skeleton warhorse is also a fail as your... Let me check. Okay, as your booming blast of energy shoots out, filling the area as a loud boom shatters around, breaking some branches and knocking some trunks off of the trees as well as it goes off. The two skeletons are instantly shattered as they just turn into a pile of bones and armor and their weaponry on the floor, as they're not even in their full form anymore, just shattered bone, while the horse looks like it is barely alive. Like it is barely being held together. It has very little bones left.
Am I allowed to do an attack cantrip? Is that allowed still?
If it was a bonus action, yes, but unless Shatter is a bonus action.
No, it's not. It's an action.
So if you have a bonus action cantrip, you can do that, but unless you don't, you cannot.
I don't think I do. So, yeah.
You can also cast a bonus level spell, but I don't remember of what level off the top of my head.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'll let other people kill this horse.
Alright, as you just decimated them, as it goes to Barrel.
Okay. Rush up to this pale dude person thing.
Okay.
I am going to... I will reckless attack.
Okay. As you swing recklessly, you hit recklessly. Alright, as the bludgeoning does seem less effective on him as you smack into him.
Okay.
But it does do a decent chunk of damage still. Is that you?
That is me.
Okay. As it'll go to the pale creature, as it will reach out to grab you first. As that is going to miss, and then it will swing its longsword out at you.
These are all with advantage.
Oh, sorry, they're all both with advantage.
Well, the first one technically would have been a straight roll -2 because I had given it disadvantage and it's marked.
Okay, so it misses the first one still. The second one is a nat 20, though.
Okay.
Oh, -2 doesn't matter.
-2 doesn't matter.
Nope.
As you are going to take 14 slashing damage as he brings this sword wide and just cleaves it down the front of your chest.
Can I use my reaction to...
Yes. Yes, you can, and yeah, you can use your reaction for the teleport.
Okay.
As Silas is surrounded in the arcane energy and ports.
13.
13 just hits.
Ooh. Alright, that's good, because I didn't want to stay here.
Arcane Grasp is still up.
Okay.
And I will just choose to blink back.
Okay. As you blink back. Is that this thing's turn? Yep. As that is its turn as it goes to Josie.
Gonna shoot at the pale creature again.
Okay. Loud bang. Filling the forest. 14 hits. As you shoot into it. Again, doesn't seem as effective, but it still pierces through, leaving another hole in its armor and some more black ichor spills out.
Alright, that's me.
Okay. Silas, as it goes to you. The horse
Alright.
still stands, technically, even if it looks very bad.
Yes, it looks very bad.
I'll push the bone boys to the back.
Still, gonna try to hit the pale thing with another chill touch. Yeah, I will.
I will tell you that the necrotic did seem less effective on him. It just,
Yeah, it's not what I'm doing.
it just didn't
really.
seem
Use
like
it
your
for the
best.
damage.
It didn't seem like your best hit last time anyway, as well. But you could tell that it was not as effective of damage.
But I'm playing the defense game here. So chill touch at it. 14.
That'll hit. All right.
Minus the 3, of course.
Yes. All right. As it is chill touched.
Oh, nope, none of those are gonna help me. Well, it is restrained. I'm going to bonus action disengage
Okay.
and back up to here.
Okay.
That's me.
As it'll move to Carolina.
All right. I guess I will move over here,
Okay. Move up to there.
and I'm going to attack it.
Okay. Go on then. James, you good? There you are. 11's unfortunately not going to do it. As that would miss. You're muted if you're talking.
Am I?
Yeah. Yeah, you were muted.
It looked like you may have been talking before you said "Am I?"
Yeah. And we didn't hear you.
It might not be from the Discord mute.
I might have been. All right, then I'll disengage and I'll.
Okay. I'll tell you for future reference, because I don't know if you had the movement, but I wasn't going to tell you after you did it, because I don't want to remind people of this too often.
Disengage is what?
No. I'm telling you this after the fact, because I don't want to keep reminding people of this, because they need to figure it out themselves, but since your turn is over, if you moved 5 feet up, you would have had flanking. But you don't get flanking from that space. I'm telling you, which I consider to be nice, but I didn't let you just get it because people should remember. People need to remember that. Yeah, people need to remember that if they need to. But that's for everyone's information.
Me moving with disengage, that's fine though.
Yes, you're fine. You did not proc opportunity attack. This goes to Wiz.
He just looks around. This isn't happening. It's a bag of bones. It's not happening. And his action, he's panicking.
Okay. As that'll be Wiz, as it'll go to Isaac.
Again, I take aim, point a finger gun at the pale creature, and shoot an Eldritch Blast.
All right. 12 just hits.
Nice.
That just meets. As you shoot, yep, still up. Looking pretty bad, though. Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. The warhorse is going to attempt to break free. I think he only takes more damage if you use your action to crush again, right?
I don't even know. I think after the first one, it's just restrained.
Well, you can, as your action on your turn, cause the hand to crush again. That's what I was saying.
No, I'm saying I can't do that. I'm saying, yeah, after the initial crush, I can use an action to reach for a different creature or move to a different unoccupied space.
As an action, you can cause the hand to crush the restrained target, which must make it to the second paragraph, bud.
Yeah.
Oh, I just assumed that was the... Oh, yeah, okay. Well... But
no, you didn't do that, so it doesn't take any more. It's against your spell save DC?
A strength check, yeah, against my spell save DC, which is 14.
So it breaks free.
Okay. Then I believe the spell ends.
Okay. And then it...
Or no, the target escapes and is no longer restrained. Okay.
Is just going to move to... Let's see. It's just going to run up and move to there. Darting away.
Boy.
Yeah, it can run far. But it used its action, so it can't get any further, as it'll go to Astrid. What do you do?
I'm just trying to figure out how fucking far away this horse is. Okay, 45.
Not too bad.
No.
It's the farthest horse you've ever seen.
She's just gonna fire a ray of frost at it.
Okay. A 10's not gonna hit.
Nope.
As that'll miss.
And then, as my bonus action, I'll give inspiration to Barrel.
Okay. So it'll go to Barrel.
Okay. I will attack the white.
Okay. You hit, and as you smack into it, you crush the side of its chest, bringing it down dead to the ground, but as it dies, it lets out a ear-piercing wail. As the wail goes off, its chest explodes out, and you see a blackened mist shoot out from its chest into the air as it screeches as well, forming what looks like the head of a creature in peril. As it screeches, it instantly ignites into flame, burning up in the sky as it falls to the ground dead with a screech in the air.
Ew.
Heavy magic emanating from it as that happened, obviously.
I will do,
I'd do the screech, but there are people home today, so...
Okay. I will, I guess, run my full movement towards the horse.
Okay.
That's gonna be me.
Alright. So I'll go to Josie.
Shoot that horse.
Okay. 10's not gonna hit.
Nah.
Bang, miss. Is that you?
Yes.
Silas.
Alright, I'll move 30 feet. I'm gonna bonus action dash.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna attempt to hit it with my rapier.
Okay.
Take sneak attack off.
God, horse. Rolling.
You don't have to roll that high, guys!
No, it's a natural 2.
The horse god forgot.
It's the horse that
All
killed
right.
Mistra.
Well,
She just couldn't hit him.
That's me.
So it goes to Carolina. I guess.
Actually, low-key.
Say it's actually Loki.
Yeah.
What do you think? This is the
Yes, I'll do
MCU?
my same. Whoops.
No.
Okay, good. I'm glad you don't
Just know
think
he
that.
fucked a horse.
Haven't we all?
No.
What happened?
That's TOS. Don't say
Mostly
that.
Loki
Manga
and James.
TOS.
Mangas.
What are you doing, James? You're running?
I'm gonna silence that. I'm gonna there.
So your bonus, are you just moving to there? Okay.
Action. Then he moved and then he dashed, right?
Bonus action dashed.
Yep.
You can do the same. You can bonus action dash. You're a rogue. At least I think rogues can bonus action dash.
Yeah, no, they can't. I just got
sure
that ability.
hope
so I
it
just-
does.
I sure hope they can. Okay, so you get
so
to there,
okay.
and you have flanking, yes.
Yes. Okay.
It's almost assured that you can't miss.
Don't tempt me. Don't.
Yeah. Okay. As you, with a clean strike, cleave through its thick hide armor and carve a hole in the side of the bone skeleton as it falls to the ground, dead, clattering into a pile of unanimated bones. As a silence moves over the forest. As the silence lasts almost eerily long, almost inviting something else to jump out and attack you all from the darkness, but nothing comes.
They're gone. We won.
Are you going to just stand there and shake every time we fight anything that's inanimate and attacking us?
Give him a minute.
If you responded in character, you're muted.
His response was just clearing his. Inhaling, exhaling, sorry.
Okay. Take that as a yes.
Isaac would like to investigate the pale white thing and try to determine what it was.
Sure, as you approach the pale white thing, and Beryl, you'd see this how close you are to the body. The body is now shriveled up, the skin has shrunk and is just tight around the bone now, as it looks like any tighter it would snap the bone out from under it. As it's just on the ground with a horrific, agonized expression on its face, staring up into the sky, its chest torn open. Inside there is a pool of black ichor inside the chest.
You killed that thing real good, Beryl.
It was nasty.
It was.
Why did it do that?
This is an
Was it?
undead abomination.
Yeah, can I figure out what it was with a check of some sort?
I think Isaac studied undead at the very least, in any manner.
Probably not.
Then I'd say no.
Unless it's like common knowledge. So.
No, it's not exactly common knowledge. Euclax is a rather peaceful land for the most part. This stuff has not been happening until recently.
Okay, then yeah, he probably would not know.
Anyone that believes that they would be studying undead, though, like actual undead creatures and the specifics of them, can roll a history or arcana if they are trained in either of those.
Do we have to look at it to do it?
No. If you're not investigating it, you don't have to look at it. But if you're just trying to recall information about what you just saw, then
Wiz,
you
we could describe it to you.
arcana or history, Wiz,
Yeah, it's really gross.
depending on which you're trained in. Or,
The face kind of looks like this.
Question, Jake.
Mhm.
Would knowledge to do with undead guardians have involved a creature that looked like that from the major villages? It would have been whatever little bits he would have told him about undead that could be around a crypt or a tomb.
Probably not.
Okay.
These aren't exactly undead that people try to employ to do things. Not the people that guard tombs, at the very least. But yeah, Wiz, you don't have to look at it. Okay, you rolled an Arcana. Yeah, Wiz, you don't know.
Is there any historical reason that Astrid would know about undead?
Do you think Astrid would have studied undead?
Only if it had been relevant to her country's personal history.
No, not particularly.
Okay. I was mostly like, if there was an event, like...
Undead can be fairly prevalent creatures, but they won't necessarily teach people about them because of that, though.
Okay,
this wouldn't be at all linked to what my concerns were with the Feywild, right?
No, not at all. Those aren't undead.
Okay.
I'm astonished that we have such a cumulatively large party, and not one of us chose to care about undead.
I mean, it
wasn't a problem until
vague thing, like.
But Wiz,
no, I know it's just
Wiz,
it's common.
You're with your roll. You don't know specifically what that was, but the look in its eyes, the intellect it carried, and the sort of sentience it had, in comparison to literally the walking bones, you can definitely tell that there's something more malevolent going on there. That's not just an animated body. There has to be something more than that.
Let's just move on.
I'm actually looking. What kind of bow is with these skeletons?
The skeletons have short bows.
Ooh, I'm gonna take one of those.
Okay, you can take one of the short bows there. Normal looking short bows, a bit, worn, like they have seen their use before. But, normal looking. Doesn't look particularly, wrong with them.
That being the case, then I'm pilfering arrows. Sorry, go ahead, James.
I'll take one too.
The arrows on the skeletons, the two by you would have a total of 17 arrows. Not between the two of them. So you get 17 arrows. So what are you doing, Carolina? Sorry.
I'll take another one of the bow.
So you're gonna take the other one of the other 3 short bows.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he took the arrows from there, right? So
yes.
I guess I'll take the arrows from here.
Okay. There's about 10 arrows on that guy. He didn't last long.
Do the horses have shoes?
Have horseshoes?
Yeah.
No.
They have sneakers.
Are they armored? I'm only asking because
yes, there's armor on them. There is hide armor on both of them.
Okay.
Looks rather heavy.
I'm just gonna be molding earth to kind of push the bodies off of the road and just off to the side.
Sure.
Can I check the pale creature for weapons or items of significance?
There is a long sword and a long bow that it has.
Anybody want a long sword or bow?
But as well, you haven't touched them yet. The long sword and long bow do have that black ichor on parts of it from it dying.
Icky, no.
If I cast Prestidigitation, does it get rid of the black ichor?
Does not come off, no.
I'm not touching that thing then. Are there any arrows on it that are not ichor tainted?
Roll investigation.
Okay. And this is about trying to carefully not touch anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and any of the stuff that does look covered in ichor and stuff, I'm gonna be molding earth and kind of just burying it under the ground.
Good call.
So nobody coming past.
Can you link mold earth real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. One of those super cool elemental cantrippos.
Are you sure putting this stuff in the ground is good for the environment, Beryl?
I mean, these creatures were in the environment before.
Yeah, no. If you can,
I can excavate 5 feet.
Yes, 5 feet is definitely enough to bury a sword.
I'm just like,
yeah, that works fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you make a snowman, but out of earth, please.
Wait,
I love
do
it.
I know what a snowman is?
You know what snow is, obviously.
So,
The Fae are frivolous
snow-
creatures. I don't know if they're snowman building type creatures, though.
Snow plus man. I make a man shape out of earth. It's not snow, but there you go.
It's wonderful. I love it. Thank you.
Wiz,
And then I-
continue.
Take it down.
I'm drawing it.
Take it down after she draws.
Silas, with your investigation check, yeah, you're able to find and carefully remove the quiver of arrows on its back. It was just do it carefully enough to get it away from the pile of blood. As you get an arrow quiver with 24 arrows in it.
I'm gonna give I'm gonna offer 7 of those arrows to Carolina.
Okay.
I'll take them.
All right. Wiz, what were you saying?
No, you took it down. Never mind.
Okay. So what do you all do?
We should move on before more of these things come. Or hell,
Should I-
maybe more of them are in the town. We should probably go and investigate.
I agree.
How far away are we? You said we could see the town.
Yeah, you can
in
see the town.
distance.
You can still see it.
Okay.
You're like
So
atop a
pretty-
hill, and you can see it off in the distance. It's maybe about an hour or two away.
Okay.
James, go ahead and take 4 more arrows, bud.
Okay.
I was doing some math in my head there, trying to split it as even as I could.
I sure hope they're not in the town.
As do I.
Well, we should get a move on then.
Yes, we should.
Okay. So you guys are gonna start heading to the town?
Yes.
Right. As you travel toward the town, off in the distance, you move quick as you can. As you begin to approach, there is a makeshift wooden wall that surrounds just the skirts of it that looks like it was placed rather recently surrounding up the town. And as you approach, the wall is set up so that the road can go through. Like there's just no section of the wall in front of the road, but it's set up like a round. But as you approach, as you look in the distance, you see wooden or brick buildings off in the distance in the town, and one rather standout, tall, Romanesque, almost cathedral-like building in the town as well that you can see. It's rather big. And from this distance as well, it's been about an hour walk, you see what look like tall pieces of metal that shoot up from the ground that atop them have a glass container and inside a glowing light like a lantern. I'm describing lampposts for like the knowledge of you all IRL set up around, but obviously none of you would know what that is. But it looks very advanced, technologically advanced, and looks similar to the electrical lamp that Gallum was selling. As you all approach and go to head through the gate, you hear a hurried voice call out and the sound of a bowstring being pulled back as someone goes, "Halt!" And you see what look like a heavily armored man in medium armor step out from behind the gate with 2 other armored individuals in tow, wearing helmets with their bows drawn. The man without the helmet, the man in front has no helmet on. It's a half-elven man with brown hair, a sort of goatee as he approaches up. But as he approaches up, he sees the 2 individuals with bows drawn, and he offers his hand up and just tells them to lower. As they lower, going out to you as he approaches, he goes, "Are you all looking to enter the city? Who are you? Rather late for travel."
It is. We're trying to make time over a stretch of road that we're going beyond the town. We were going to be passing through, staying a day, maybe?
I heard some noise in the distance. Sounded like gunshots and a loud boom. Were you all responsible for that?
Sorry. Yeah, that was us. We ran into some skeleton.
Blighted land. Ugh. As he says, obviously like a curse, he spits on the ground. Right.
Blighted land. Is that a problem that's been going on here?
It's just a saying. Here in Destin, we've had our fair share of problems with undead occasionally, but historically things like demons and such. So occasionally we like to remind ourselves of this blighted land that we sometimes call home. Bless the Queen and her efforts. Nonetheless, if that was all you and you ran into the skeletons and you're alive, I take it you're armed types. Can I get your identifications from each of you? IDs, please, as he would offer his handout. We're gonna call break there.
Okay.
Do we
Do I have an identification?
I mean,
know I don't.
if we haven't talked about it, you can assume.
Yeah,
Is
okay.
Beryl sneezing in hers?
We're gonna be right back. We're gonna call break real quick. I'm muting the Back to here. Okay. And We're going to get back into it in just a second, once I get the music playing. There we go. Okay, so... Is it playing, or am I just deaf?
I'm not hearing anything.
It's very low. Okay.
It's low.
It's the first song just has a startup. Alright. As we pick up where we left off, as he looks to you all and goes, take it that you're all venture types or such. Identifications, please. As he holds his hand out towards the person that would be directly in front of him, whoever that would be leading the way.
I guess I would be in front. I was the one who suggested that we make a move.
Mm-hmm.
I'd give him my identification.
Okay. As you'd all see Isaac take out what looks like a thin piece of paper that he unfolds and hands to the man as he takes it, looks it over and goes, seems in order. You're allowed in, as he will hand it back to you. So you'll look to the rest of you.
Question out of character, because I was definitely in a town
Oh, you certainly were.
previously to this one,
You're in a couple towns, but
and never had a question about identification before.
you were not in any of the 4 nations that are in the cluster, I'd noticed, and you haven't been in Destin yet. Destin is recent. You've been in one town in Destin, and they didn't ask you for anything, though.
Okay.
Cravine's in Destin, though, correct?
Didn't ask you for anything there.
I would hand
I'm sorry.
Oh,
go ahead.
James is saying something, so...
Yep.
Go on, James.
I would hand him my identification.
Alright, as he takes it, he looks it over, goes, nods to you, hands it back.
What is more appropriate here? My signet ring or my degree of pedigree?
I mean... You don't know.
Alright, I guess I just give him both like a douche.
He looks to you, confused. He goes, sorry, ma'am. I'm asking for your identification card from, for the nuns. They hand them out at the Temple of Law, generally. They, for adventurers and other types who aren't citizens.
Can you repeat the first part?
Which part was the first part? The sorry, ma'am? Do you want me to start all the way from there?
The first sentence, yes.
As he says, sorry, ma'am, this is not what I'm asking for. I'm asking for your identification, card, like a, piece of paper. They give it to you at the Temple of Law for anyone that's not a citizen in these Praxmorian lands, or anyone that's...
There's the Temple of Law.
There's a Temple of Law in town. Do you not have identification?
I do not.
Nor do I.
I don't, but I'm not from around here.
Right! Well, if those of you don't have identification, that's a lot of you. Don't know how you got this far without it. Blasted places probably didn't ask, because they didn't have to worry about this. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask to confiscate your weapons, and you're going to have to come with me to the Temple of Law, so that we can get you some.
Even if I say that they're with me? With
Your-
us, like with Carolina?
Your papers are very much in order, Sir Darrow, but everyone else needs their own individual identification. Usually I wouldn't be so strict on this, I promise you that, but there's been a lot of shit going on in town recently, and I really need to make sure I'm not letting in some real bad folk. Temple of Law, confiscated weapons. I promise you, it won't be long, you'll get your things back.
Silas starts like pulling out his number of daggers and his rapier.
Can I make an insight check to see if he's telling the truth about giving our stuff back?
Yeah, sure. Roll insight.
Silas does the thing where he goes like, wait,
Yeah,
wait, and he
it
pulls
seems
one
like
out in his pants.
there's a real level of, like, exhaustion to him. Like, there's, like, he's too tired to lie about that, and he
He's
seems
just
to be
rolling through
being
the
genuine.
motions. Okay.
Not even rolling through the motions, you can also tell that he doesn't really want to do this, but there's, like, a concern that he needs to, you know, do it for.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
Yeah,
there's some
Silas
reason why.
will undo the sheath of his rapier and hand it to him, and then, you know, the 4 daggers, 2 from each leg, and then 1 from each boot.
Okay. So you'll
yeah.
take him, one of the, individuals, at the side will come over with a bag, and, they'll get plopped in.
He's just asking for weapons, right? Not
Your
like
weapons.
all of our belongings.
No, your weapons.
Okay.
Weaponry.
Give him, I give him my maul, my quarterstaff, and 4 javelins.
Is that every weapon you have on you?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, I stopped my list, but I would not have kept any weapons.
Okay,
aside.
so are all of you handing your weapons over? Every single one of them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Did he ask for?
No, he didn't ask for you or Isaac's. Wiz, what are you doing?
He already. He's still holding up the his identification.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear you say you're holding up your identification.
I guess he's short.
But he would have noticed
Yeah.
your identification and he would have, you know, nodded to you. You're in the clear. So they'd take your weapons. Josie, seeing your large rifle, he had looked at it and he would nod. He would look to one of the other guy, and the other guy would take the weapon, holding it in hand, because he can't really fit it in the bag.
Careful.
Yes, we'll be as careful as we can with it. You 3, however, looking to Carolina, Isaac, and Wiz, you can head on into town, go anywhere you wish, or you can accompany us. I'd recommend not adventuring too far away from the town, especially this late at night.
I look to the group being escorted away, and I say,
Well, they're not walking yet, but...
Okay. Well, yeah. I say, I suppose we'll find an inn or a tavern and meet you there.
Well, if there's more than one, that could cause us to not meet anywhere.
There's only one inn in the town, Sour Turkey Tavern. I can give you directions.
Yes, we can meet you there.
I
That's a very, very useful idea, Isaac.
I can give you directions and have a man escort you all to the tavern after we're done.
That'd be very appreciated.
Of course. Be safe. This town's seen its fair share of gloomy days recently, and please don't do anything that's going to put you on my shit list or on any of the gods' shit list.
Don't have any intentions of it, sir.
Good. So he would begin escorting Astrid, Beryl, Josie, and Silas. As Carolina, Isaac, and Wiz, the 3 of you, are left together alone. What do you do?
I suppose we should make our way to the tavern.
Yeah. Are one of the guards still there to give us direction?
He gave you directions.
Oh, okay. Alright, then yeah, I guess we'll head there.
Okay. As you head into town. Heading toward the tavern. As you walk through the town, as you walk the streets, they are lit by these tall lampposts, like I described. Go on, sorry.
Actually, no, I'll wait.
Okay. And it's rather late, but you can see light coming from most of the buildings, and those are the buildings you can see in. There's a sort of disconnect. You see the guards looking around, walking around rather nervously, keeping an eye out. But individuals that you see indoors, some of them have a rather chipper demeanor to them, as if they're having a good day, rather happy those indoors as you pass by buildings if you gaze in. As you begin to approach the Sour Turkey, which is a large, square-shaped stone building, a gout of smoke coming out of a chimney, light emanating from all windows, the doors wide open. You can hear what sounds like very active merrymaking and drinking from the inside.
Quick question. Arbington, does this look like a well-off town, or does it look?
It looks like possibly like a little farming town, is what you can tell. It's likely what it is. I forgot to pull this with everybody. Sorry. When they got back, because I think I got everyone except for like Ben and Rogue maybe. Are you guys good with going a bit later? Since to make up for the late start, so ending at 12. Okay.
Yes.
So you approach the Sour Turkey Tavern. What do you do, hearing the merrymaking coming from inside and the loud noise?
Well, Carolina, I don't know about you, but I could use a sit.
It's been a long day of travel. What do you think, Wiz?
Sure.
Three of you are going to enter?
Yes.
Alright. As the three of you enter the active inn, we will cut over to the four, heading to the Temple of Law. Being led along the way, the guard, walking in front of you, just looking around, his eyes darting every so often as if keeping an eye out for something. As he passes by a patrol of guards, he stops you guys and stops them for a minute, looks at them, goes, "Spotted anything?" As they just go, "No, sir. Seems pretty clear for the most part." So he goes, "Good. Keep those eyes, keep your eyes glued. And if it gets,
You've
if
been
you see
having
anything,
problems in town.
it's like, if you see anything, get back to me as soon as you can." You ask him if he had problems in town?
Yes.
You could say that. I suppose it's not a secret. Recently, and I mean very recently, maybe a couple days ago, a group of bloody ogres made their way into the Lord's estate and likely killed everybody in the estate. Some sort of some sort of ogre necromancer with them as well, causing the unfortunate undead problem that likely you ran into.
You said the ogre, the necromancer was also an ogre?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a very large group of individuals.
A group of ogres and half-ogres, I don't know the full tale. We lost a lot of men in the defense of the estate, but it's unlikely that any of the people left there. It's a mess. Not that any of the folks in the town would care, no, they only care that the bloody lord that taxes them is gone and dead. Hell, they're probably in the tavern having a party about it right now.
Not to add something else on your plate, but we did intend on extending information to the law here that point in the direction of where we came from. There was a alchemist shopkeeper that was found murdered during the snowstorm.
He grips the bridge of his nose and he just go, "Just another thing to add to the list, gods."
Case appeared to have, the murder appears to be tied to a robbery of a very rare item that he had.
Something to discuss later if you wish to give us information.
That's just not aside.
For now, I unfortunately can't worry about an alchemist being murdered while those ogres are stationed up at the Lady Estate.
How far is the estate from here? Sorry, go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead.
Maybe about an hour away, if you're taking your time. They haven't done anything yet. Perhaps that's what concerns me the most.
Are parties the same thing as festivals?
I suppose a party is just... I suppose, yes, a festival and party are fairly similar. Probably the same, depending on who you ask. Yes, why?
She just like opens up her journal, just pauses. For a
Okay.
second, and she goes,
Well, perhaps after we finish proper documentation and reacquire our things, we could discuss if you and your gods are in need of perhaps aid in removal of this threat.
Look, if you're capable in wanting to get rid of the ogres, you can talk to the clerics at the temple. They're the ones who handle the stuff like that. I'm just one of the captains of the local guard.
Are there bounty boards anywhere in town?
Nothing like that. We don't do bounties or anything like that, no. Don't usually have any issues of the sort. But if you're offering yourself, I'm sure they could prepare a reward for you.
We will have to visit the temple then.
That's what we're doing now, at the very least.
Oh, it's the same. Okay.
It's the Temple of Law.
That makes sense.
Well, that's the one thing I forgot to say that I need to. Correction. It is not called the Temple of Order. It is the Temple of Law. That is an older version of this map that I did not make a new one. So just put that in your notes. It's not that important, but they are called Temples of Law, not Temple of Order.
Okay.
As you all follow along toward the temple, as you see what looks like a tall stone building built somewhat like a cathedral, but looks a bit more like a civic building, like a civic building, you know, like a court. It's built up. At the front of the building, 5 flags lay coming down at the front. Each bearing a different symbol. First, a symbol you have all seen already. The symbol of Destin, the emblem of the nation. What is a red flag with a royal griffin's profile sat at the side of it, and a crown atop its head. Next, you see several other symbols that have some significance to each of you. I'm sure, actually, all of you would know what these symbols are because they are rather, what's the word? Known throughout the world, because this is a very large religion. As first you see what looks like...
Even me?
You probably wouldn't.
Okay.
As you see first what looks like the symbol of a pin that is in the shape of a sun with several points coming off the end of it. All of you should have seen that now. I showed to players. Those of you that know, that is the symbol of Amunator, the god of the sun. Then you see a symbol that looks to be a blue shield with the profile of a dragon on the side of it. The symbol of Bahamut, god of justice. Then you see a symbol that looks to be a cogwheel with a starburst in the center of it. The symbol of Erithis, goddess of civilization. And then finally, a symbol of a silver anvil with a spark flame coming off the top of it. The symbol of Muradin, god of dwarves and craft.
And this is on the outside of the temple?
Yes, those are the 4 religious symbols on the outside of the temple, and the fifth flag, again, is the Destin flag, and it is the largest one by far. As they hang by the edge of the temple, 2 lampposts sit at the side, lighting the way rather well. As the guard captain approaches the door, knocks on it, and then the doors swing open as a individual in clergy outfit with a stone mask on walks out. As the guard goes, "Get one of the higher-ups of the church, please. Hopefully a cleric of Erithis or something of the sort. These individuals need IDs, and they don't have them. So I'd like it if you could issue some. Just get me one of those if you can. I'm going to have my man stay out here with their things when they're finished." As the man responds, he could simply wait inside as well. As he goes, "Then he'll do that. Can you take it from here?" As he goes, "Yes, I can lead them to one of the clerics, but I do warn you that we are short-staffed right now." As the guard captain goes, "Try to tell me all about short-staffing as much as you want, but trust me, I know that better than anyone." as he turns away from him and walks towards you all and goes, "Right, these folk will sort you out. Once you're finished, you can get your things back from my man here, and he will give you directions or escort you to the Sour Turkey Inn. Keep your noses clean, please."
Could I get your name, God Captain?
"Yes. My name is Jonathan." Where's the last name? Where the hell is it? Jonathan Hale.
Alright.
Now, keep your noses clean and get what you have to get done. As he goes to walk past you all.
Do all from the majority of people that we've seen so far, both like through the windows of buildings or the guards themselves, like, is it diverse race-wise, or is it all pretty much human?
There's a rather diverse amount of people that you've seen so far. Mostly human elves and dwarves, though.
Okay.
But there's been the occasional, like, rarer race, but not many. It's just mostly humans, elves, and dwarves. There doesn't appear to be a lot of people. It appears to be a rather small town.
Okay.
As, the masked individual looks to you and goes, "Follow me this way. I will lead you to, the working representative we have here, Cleric, Harren, please." As he will lead you in.
Follow.
As led inside, you are led into a open, temple-like area that is set up sort of as like a mix between like a church and a courtroom, as there are pews that lead up to a altar, and the altar is sat behind what looks like a place where a judge would stand, like a judge's stand, as it is like a amalgamation between court and church. And as you're let in, there are several statues in the room. Statues that depict what you saw before, those symbols and emblems. But as well, you see the statue of what looks like a completely bronze statue of a woman, holding what looks like a basin of water. And from the basin of water, what looks like designed and painted to look like stars come pouring out into her hand, where it drips out a bit. It's all stone, but it's designed to look this way. Completely bronze, the woman, and wearing what looks like heavy armor and a short sword by her side. People can roll religion, aside from... even Beryl can roll religion. You've probably maybe heard or seen depictions of it. It would be rare in the Feywild, though.
Can I do history?
Yes, you can do history. Somehow, Beryl, you are aware that this is a depiction of Erithus, the god of civilization, so...
Can I do history?
Yes, you can do history.
I bet one of the satyrs was like, "Avoid this woman at all costs."
Josie, you can roll, because you may have seen it before, because there may be temples... there's probably temples where you've come from.
To vintage hues.
But if you also think you just wouldn't know, that's fair.
I do not think she would know.
Okay, then that's fair. Okay, so all of you know this is a depiction of Erithus, goddess of civilization, as she has the largest statue in the room. Additionally, there are paintings that are in the room as well that line the walls. Starting from the first painting, you see a individual that rather regal and mighty looking. A human man with white beard, long white beard, and white hair as well. He looks older, as he is dressed in rather fancy armor and is sitting regally, a crown atop his head. As under it has a numeral for the number 1, as a first, and it says the name Uthor Avalon. Then following that painting, there is a series of other paintings that continues on and on until it reaches the only other one of real note to you all as well. As you see the portrait of a woman that has a different writing underneath it. as it says Sitting Queen Anna Avalon under it. As you see what looks like a human woman with long red hair with green eyes. Sorry, not green eyes. Like brown eyes. Sat looking rather serious toward the painting while she was getting painted in chain armor. Looks rather young. Perhaps a painting that was done younger. Those of you that are from the land, so so Isaac, Carolina, sorry, you two aren't there. So Astrid, you know that the queen is likely older than that, and you know the Avalon name. The Avalons have been the ruling family of Destin for years now. Silas, you would know that as well. That was something you would have been taught. By years now, I mean from the beginning of the nation. They have been the ruling authorities. They have always been king, queen, and of Destin. And Astrid, you would know as well that the current queen, Anna Avalon, is rather popular with the people of the land. That is the portrait.
Have I ever been in the same circles as them?
No. You have not.
Okay.
Damn, she do be serious looking.
There's the portrait of her. Anna with 2 N's. And Uthor is spelled correctly. As you see those coming in. As you are led by him past the statues, past the pews, and past the altar into a door that leads to a back room. Then you're led down a small hallway, rather plain looking, a rug across it, to a door, where the individual knocks and then opens before hearing a response as he steps in, as he goes, sorry? Cleric Harren, we have some individuals here that need IDs. I was told to bring them to the highest authority in the church, and I know that the judge isn't here, so I thought I'd bring them to you. As you hear a voice call out in a grumble, a sort of annoyed voice, as he goes, "What does that bastard think he's doing, sending people to get IDs in this... Send him in, I'll talk to them." As he gives a bow, and he turns to you all and goes, "Step on in, please." As I imagine all of you will enter.
Mm-hmm.
So all of you enter a decent-sized room, bit small, that looks like an office room, where a dwarven man is sat behind a desk, wearing what look like robes, with the symbol of Erithis emblazoned on the chest of the robes. He sits. It is a dwarven man, shaved, bald head, and no beard or anything of the make. Darker, like tannish skin and green eyes. As he sits behind the desk, his hand on his head, rubbing against it, clearly annoyed. As the door shuts behind all of you and goes, "Hi. Might want to have a seat." As there are like chairs and such about, and a small couch.
What race?
Dwarven.
So you want?
Dwarven man.
Dwarven. Okay. What color beard?
He doesn't have a beard
as well.
No beard.
Oh,
no beard at all.
Hager.
Okay. So I didn't miss that then. Okay.
I described, in fact, a lack of beard. As he goes, "I'm Cleric Alistair Heron. Good to meet you all." Well, maybe not good. So you have to get IDs, is that it? Did the guard captain stop you at the gate and you all didn't have IDs?
That would be correct.
Can I ask how you got as far as this town without any IDs? Did you just cross the border and head here?
Myself and my sister both arrived in Trevine? I can never get that one straight. And they did not ask anything to do with IDs before we left the same day.
He palms his head into his hands and he goes, "Of course they wouldn't ask you for IDs in Trevine. Why would they care? That's the work for us, I suppose." As he laughs. Not with a lot of mirth in it, very clearly, you know.
I do apologize for the inconvenience.
Well, it's not your fault. You're not the one who's not following regulation. You'd think in a land with so many temples of law, they would actually do things to enforce the law here. Nonetheless, you need ID. Go ahead.
Farrell and myself crossed into Dilson, and they didn't request any sort of identification.
Dilson, that makes sense. Small town. I can see them being lax on it. Bit more excusable than Trevine, but still not excusable, in my opinion. Nonetheless, this is awkward, to say the least, if you need IDs. Let me be frank. I can't give you IDs right now. Our judge, Judge Lloyd, is unfortunately displaced, as there's a bit of an ogre attack recently, to which she was at the manor when the attack took place. She has not returned in days. She is either dead, or she is still there. And it's not looking good, quite frankly. And no one else here has the rights required to get you the IDs, you see. So, unfortunately, I don't want to cause more problems for you all, because it's clearly not your fault. So, I can see what I can do. I can get you your things back, but you're likely going to have to get IDs next town you come upon.
Can't you just make somebody else a judge?
It's not as simple as that. There are...
Yeah, it is. You go, and then I look to, Astrid, I point at her and go, there, you're a judge. There, she's a judge.
I don't think you mean it this way, but what you had just done there is a great act of religious insulting, especially to me as a cleric of Erithus. We do not simply just point at people and make them judges. It is a very holy experience that involves very intimate getting to know of the texts of Erithus and very intimate approval from the higher ups. I do not think you meant offense, but that was rather offensive to say, at least.
Sorry?
I've never been quite in with Erithus's lot, anyway.
It is fine. I don't think you knew, and I am on edge currently.
Where's the property, if I may ask?
Would you ask?
Where the property is? Like, is it in town or outside of town?
The Ladier estate is out of town. It is about an hour away, up a small hill. Very nice property.
We were told to actually talk to someone at the temple about, once we had our things back, about possibly working out some sort of arrangement to take care of the ogre problem at the manor.
You'd like to take care of the ogre problem? Is that the case? As he straightens up. Interesting.
What was the Ladier attached to?
Is the estate? You said Ladier estate?
Okay. Sorry.
Interesting. Well, be frank with me. How capable of individuals are you? I don't want to send people to their death. That's not the type of person I would like to be. I couldn't do that with a clear conscience.
We're a fairly capable lot. There's also 3 more of us, but they had IDs, so they did not need to come.
I see.
We did run into and have to deal with some undead on our way here, and it was not a significant problem, I would say.
He looks to the door. Seeing it closed, he nods to it as he goes, I think we could work something out. Tell me, how much do you know of property laws in Destin here?
What do I know?
Very little.
Fair, you know absolutely nothing about it.
What do I know?
Nothing, Astrid. Absolutely nothing.
No, I want to know.
I know, less than nothing.
Well, to say the least, they're very complicated. And because of our adherence to our laws, which I would never say is a downside or anything wrong, blessed be to Erithus and her wisdom. But it can lead to some complications when, for say, the owner of an estate dies, and we have to find a way to get that estate into the hands of the next proper person, considering that we would need the deed to that. Now, if you're looking to kill these ogres, we can arrange something here. If you'd like, we can make a deal. I don't have the means to be able to pay you, nor do I have the means to work out any sort of payment currently. However, if you could either find the judge, if she is alive, ideal. If she's dead, you need to get her rights off of her body. And if they're not on her body, you've got to find them. If you can get that, and if you could get your way into the Ladia Vault and get the deed to the estate, I would be very willing to personally make sure you will get no fuss IDs in the next town you're in, and have a personal note of thank you from the temple. And as well, the Ladia Vault is packed filled with magical items. If you'd like, each of you can have a selection of one of the items inside. We have a catalog of everything that should be in there, so if you take this deal, please don't try to swindle us. We know what's in there. One each.
So,
We just
7
have to kill
items.
some ogres.
Oh, actually, sounds good. So 8 items in total then.
Roll deception.
Okay.
It's not 8 of you.
I know.
Yeah, and you said we had 3 more.
Yeah, it's at a disadvantage, don't worry. Said you had 3 more. Let's see, he's a cleric, so...
I know. I know.
Nat 20. Jesus Christ.
He didn't have to be a cleric, he could have been a peasant.
7 items. You said you had 3 more.
A brief miscalculation, apologies.
I understand, that happens every so often.
How
You
many
said one
ogres
per
are there?
person.
What'd you say?
How many ogres are there?
I believe there were 3 full-blooded ogres that were with them, and a good amount of half-ogres. One of the ogres, I think, got killed in the attack, so there should only be 2 more, the necromancer and one of the other ones. If you want more information about the attack, I wasn't there personally. However, the Ladies had a paladin of Erithus that was stationed at the estate with them. He unfortunately couldn't help them all, but he was, he tried. Kieran Dodson. He likely is at the tavern right now, if you wish to speak with him, the Sour Turkey.
That is where we were going next.
He may have more information about the affair. I don't know that much. But if you're willing, simple deal. Clear out those ogres, find the judge or the judge's rights on her corpse, and find the vault, get the deed, and each of you are entitled to 1 magic item from there.
Is there a fee normally associated with getting an ID?
No, we don't tie any fees of any sort to it.
Okay.
It's more a Praxmorian practice than it is of us in Destin. I've not been used to it recently. The judge knows more about the procedures than I do, but they don't charge.
So the deed is a part of the requirements then?
Yes, we will need the deed.
This Kieran fella.
Aye.
He said he was stationed at the estate?
Yes, he was there to protect the individuals. He's one of their bodyguards.
So, you said he was at the tavern.
Aye.
What's he doing at the tavern? Why isn't he at the estate protecting folk?
The folk there are dead.
But you think that the judge might be alive?
If anyone's alive, it'd be the judge. They pulled out. There's not much you can do once the ogres have overthrown the place. You can't expect a man to just lay down his life and die like that when it's not clear that anyone else is alive. Saw the Lord die before his eyes, so...
And he was... it's a he?
Yes.
And he was a bodyguard to the Lord, correct?
Yes.
So once his sire was slain, and without any specific knowledge, yes, I suppose he should have pulled out.
Nothing as callous as that. There were many people at the estate. Children, friends and such. I'm sure he wanted to save as many people as he could, but... throwing your life away for that would not do any good, as I imagine. I'm sure he tried to do what he could, but again, it was a difficult situation from what I understand.
Well, we will certainly seek him for information before we head out there.
I mean, as well, if you find any other survivors, I'm sure the Ladia family would be in your debt. Not that that means much of anything anymore. So...
Well, wouldn't next of kin be the owners of the manor, the estate?
They would, but the Ladia family is nothing huge in Destin. They have lordship over this small town for past deeds done. That's about it. All they have is their estate and the magic items within, and the very little money that they have left.
Favor is still desirable. We'll see what we can do.
But
we will need our things back, as agreed, though, for us to do that.
yes, of course, sure. So you agree to go for the ogres then?
Silas just give a nod and look to the other three.
As he's going to go right. Okay.
Well, does that mean you're gonna let us into town now so we can get to the tavern?
Yes. I'm not yet. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to let you get your things back. I don't recommend going tonight. Perhaps I'd recommend sleeping, or maybe if you're capable, going now. Up to you. There is also some shops in town if you wish to peruse them. There's a shop where an arcanum. They sell some magic items there. Perhaps you could equip yourselves better if you'd like.
Is there an enchanter in town?
No enchanter, just the arcanum. Run by a lizard man, red scales. I believe his name is Kanan. Shop's called Kanan's Arcanium. Shouldn't be hard to miss.
Right, well, looks like we've got to meet with the rest of our friends and get to planning.
Right, well, thank you all for agreeing to this then. Now let me just write up a contract rather quickly. Nothing serious. Just need one of you to sign acknowledging that you have agreed to the terms and that, you agreed to take one item from the vault on your success. Nothing more, nothing less. Well, nothing more.
Would the signature be responsible for everyone only taking one item?
It's
only
not
for themselves.
It's not exactly going to be if you sign it and then someone else takes two, you're going to be the only one punished. No. You're all going to be responsible for this, but we're going to have the name of one of you.
Fair enough. Silas will extend his hand to take... Oh, you gotta write it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he takes out a piece of paper as he takes his holy symbol of Erithus off him. As you see magic channel through the symbol, and the piece of paper is all of a sudden just covered in just walls of text.
If one of us dies, do we still get 7 items?
That'd be a hard thing to happen, but yes, if one of you dies, sure, as a consolation, you can have 7 still.
I'm reading it before anybody signs it.
Sure. But I do wish that none of you die. I do not want to send anyone to their death. So you're gonna read it?
Is it on the level? And yes.
Yeah, sure. Roll a perception or investigation. It has to be the most boring, thorough document you have ever read, but nothing is suspicious about it or, misleading. It is so abundantly straightforward and clear that it is almost, again, mind-numbing.
Then Silas seemed to be the one who wanted to sign it, so she'll pass it to him.
Okay.
Well,
He doesn't have to. You looked interested.
He was going to offer it up to do it. If you offer to hand it to him, he's going to read it before he signs it, though.
Oh, wait.
I'll sign it then.
Wait, can I sign it? I've never signed a legal document before.
Sure.
I don't mind.
Right. And I take the pen with two hands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
And I hazardly write my name.
You write it legibly?
Yeah.
Okay. Writes it out as he looks to it and goes, Beryl, okay. As he takes his thumb and presses it against the side of it, as you see the paper glow a sort of platinumish color for a moment, and then it stops. He goes, right, contract is signed and sealed and ready, as he will slide open a piece of his desk in a drawer and put it in. You roll her in the clear. Take your time figuring out what you need to do. Kieran's at the Sour Turkey, as I said. Let the gentleman outside know Cleric Hawken allowed you to get your stuff back. Here, give him this, as he will take out a small pin that is the emblem of Erithus and hand it to one of you. Though whoever will take it.
Silas very quickly grab it.
Okay. So he goes, right.
Oh, it's a grab game now, huh?
Right. Thank you again, and good luck. Be safe. If you need any more information, we are here, and we have what we have, but we don't have much.
I understand. Would the shop still be open at this hour?
Not at this hour. You're going to have to wait for the morning if you're looking to shop. That,
It would be good for us to shop before heading out.
That Kanan's a rather punctual individual, though. He's going to be... The shop's going to be open at the earliest hour of the day, so at the first call of the rooster.
All right, then. Silas will go to stand up and offer his hand to shake.
Yeah,
Cleric's
shake your hand.
I'm doing business with you, Sir Cleric.
You as well, and good luck. If things look too dangerous there, just pull out. Deal isn't worth that much. You can get your ID rather easily without getting yourselves killed. This is just a bit more for you.
Understand. I'm going to head out.
Okay. You all gonna follow out?
Yeah.
Right. As you make it outside, you make it back into the pew area. The individual with your weapons is standing there waiting.
I'll offer him the symbol.
Sees it?
Thing.
So he goes,
the cleric said to return our things.
right. Here you are then. As he would offer each of you your things back.
Weapons, please.
As all of you would get all of your stuff back.
Thank you, sir.
Nods to you. Would you like directions to the Sour Turkey then? Or I could escort you
We
there.
would. I'm fine with either.
Well, since I've
Whichever's
been,
more convenient for you.
since I've been given permission to do so, I will take that opportunity to escort you there.
All right.
As he goes to
Following him.
walk out. All right. As you follow him, we are going to cut over to the three people as they entered the Sour Turkey Inn. Here we go, boys. Here comes this playlist. Don't think I've used this one yet.
It's the Chicken Run soundtrack.
Hope so.
As you enter the tavern, Wiz, Isaac, and Carolina. As you step in through the door, the first thing you hear is the sound of blasting music as a elven man, his shirt just a bit unbuttoned, rather drunk looking, sits atop stands atop a table, blasting away at a lute as music fills the room. Peasant folk and work folk alike throughout the room, celebrating, it looks like, drinking, making merry, eating, all around the room. As you see, it is rather mobbed, barmaids giving folk what they can as they move about, a rather jovial atmosphere. As the only indication away from this jovial atmosphere is a single individual, a human, maybe half-elven man, you can't tell, his hair covers his ear, sat at a table alone near the side, closest to the back of the tavern, his head down on the table, a mug of ale right next to it as he's just laying down on the table, but clearly awake. That's the only indication of anything aside from this jovial atmosphere, as everything else is packed tables, people singing about, dancing about, and enjoying the atmosphere. As what do you all do? I'll show you a picture of the individual, though. There you go.
It's a real beaut.
Go get him, Carolina.
As what do you all do? The tables around seem packed. You can't see any that are empty, aside from the one that is, with the one guy. But what do? You gonna look around further? What's going on?
I'll turn to Carolina and I'll say, Carolina, I think I'm going to quench my thirst, and by that I mean I'm going to gather information.
Okay.
Feel free to grab us a table or speak to whoever you want. I'm going to go up to the bar.
Sure. Carolina.
How big are the tables?
They sit about 6 people.
And there's only one table that's fairly empty, and it's the one with the one guy, right?
Are you gonna look further for any ones that are more empty?
Yeah, if there are any
perception.
tables there.
Nope, you don't notice any.
I guess I'll head. All the tables around the guy who's just by himself. Are any of them all of them are like full?
Yes.
I
You
guess
did not
then I'll
spot
head-
any that were not full.
I guess I'll head to the bar too with Isaac.
Wiz, what are you gonna do?
He walks up to the counter.
Hey, barkeep.
Okay, so all of you are approaching the counter. Okay. So all 3 of you approach the counter, and you call out to the barkeep, Wiz. So he looks and then looks down to you, as it is a elven man, short brown hair, pointed ears, with dark brown skin, clearly possibly a wood elf, as he looks out to you and goes, yes, can I help you?
Yeah, how much for the night?
Sorry, what'd you say?
How much for 7 rooms for the night?
Sorry, blasted music very loud. Let me, as he goes up close to you, goes, did you say 7 rooms for the night?
7.
Yeah, sure. 7 rooms for the night. That's going to be about 2 silver each.
Okay.
So 14 silver.
Okay.
And he hands him the money.
Okay, 14 silver.
Mm-hmm.
Right, he takes it. He goes, right, get you the keys very quickly. As he will, walk over to the back of the bar and then go through a door. As he disappears from sight for a moment. And then he comes
Very
back.
kind of you, Liz.
Go ahead. Mhm.
You didn't need to pay for all of our rooms.
It was nice of you, thank you.
You're both welcome.
I'll owe you one.
Don't worry about it.
As he comes back out with a small bag, as he takes it out and takes 7 keys out, plapping them down in front of you. He goes, "There! All for the rooms upstairs. Anything else I can help you with, sir?"
Milk. A cold glass of milk.
Just a copper for that.
Hands him a copper, and then hands Isaac and Carolina a key each.
Okay. As he will reach down below and pull out a mug of milk that he pours into a glass for you and hands to you. Apologies for the noise. It might be tough getting to sleep tonight.
What's the occasion? It seems to be very festive.
As he scratches the back of his head, a awkward smile on his face. He goes, "The occasion, right? You all aren't from the town, are you?"
No, sir.
Pulls in closer to the three of you. Goes, "Don't take this as a bad reflection of the town, please. But it does appear that they're celebrating the death of the lord of the town, Lord Ladia."
Oh.
You see,
was this lord particularly disliked?
he was very, liberal in his increases of taxation, to say the least. From what I hear, a pack of ogres set upon his mansion caused a lot of problems, a lot of people dead. Poor Kieran over there, as he looks over to the individual sat at the table, was one of their bodyguards. He got out alive. Can't imagine it's particularly pleasant for him to be sat about while everyone celebrates the death of his lord, and perhaps more to the point, celebrates the death of his employer.
Yes, it's probably very unfortunate to be out of the job and also have failed at your job.
Right, well, I hope you don't take that as a poor reflection of the town. The folk aren't usually like this. I think it's a bit inappropriate myself.
Is there not concern that the ogres will make their way into town?
How quietly do you say that?
We're talking in like low
Okay.
places.
He shrugs his shoulders.
If he's close to me, like
Yeah, he shrugs his shoulders and he goes, "All I'll say is that I have made some backup plans to take vacation soon."
What can you tell me about these ogres? What's the talk about?
I really don't know a lot about them. I try not to listen to the gossip and such. Like I said, it's a tragic tale. I suppose if you really wanted information, you could ask Kieran.
I might have to do that. You see, I have this problem. It's called curiosity.
Well, just try to be a bit considerate. He's, probably gone through a lot recently. I can't say I know what it's like, but maybe,
Of course.
Can I get the rest of you anything else? I know your friend here got a drink for any of you.
Just a water, please.
Of course, just a single copper.
Can I get 2 ales?
Sure, 4 silver. Sorry, not 4 silver. Sorry, 2 silver. No. 4 copper.
Jake, because we never, well, I mean, I at least Zod never messed with gold or copper. What's the conversion for 1 gold to copper?
10 silver is 1 gold. 100 copper is 1 gold.
Understood. So can I just assume that he breaks my change?
So, are you breaking 1 gold coin?
Yeah.
To 100 copper?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have 100 copper.
Okay, cool. And I pay him.
Then I guess
We
I
don't
would
do Electrum here.
No, fuck that shit.
Fuck that.
I guess I would do the same for silver.
Okay, so you get 10 silver.
And it was 4 silver.
No, it's 4 copper actually. So you're gonna do the same for copper then?
Yeah, then I would.
So you have 100 copper. You lose 1 gold, get 100 copper. Well, you technically get. Yeah, you pay. Okay.
Yeah.
So 4 copper, and then 1 copper from you, Anthony.
Okay.
All right. I like how I say that like we did an actual transaction in real life. So.
Transaction completed.
As you get 2 ales, and you are handed a water. What do the 3 of you do? You're at the bar. Nobody else is really at it. Most people else are just sort of, by the sitting areas and just partying about. There's no chairs by the bar. It's not that type of tavern.
I would take the ales and I would head over to. Did the bartender tell us the man's name?
Kieran? Yeah, Kieran.
Okay, so then I would head over to Kieran's table.
All right. The rest of you following along with him, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I just say, let's try not to ruin this man's night any further.
Wiz?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, he'll follow.
Okay. As you go along with them, and you two reach the table, what do you do?
I would, his head's, like, laying down on the table, right?
Yeah, he's laid down on the table.
I would go up to him, I would go, need another drink?
He looks up to you, and he's had his head laid on the table flat on his face. As he is up, you see a red mark on his forehead. As he looks up to you, as he goes, with a fairly sobered expression, as he goes, afraid they don't do much for me, friend. As he sits back in the back of his chair and rubs his forehead, looks to the empty mug of ale. Perks of being a paladin, I suppose.
Well, here's another one on me. Seem fairly out of place with everyone celebrating here.
Oh yes, I'm certainly not one to partake in the merrymaking of the town celebrating the death of a man, as he calls out, as one of the individuals dancing about the room goes, "Aye, Kieran, come on, lighten up, will you? You know that your lord was a piece of shit, always charging us more for just the simple work we're trying to do." So he goes, "Whether he be a piece of shit or not, there are plenty of people there that weren't. Might I remind you that he had 3 children, all of which were very young. Oldest was 12, Mind you of that." As the man gets a sour expression on his face, he goes, "Look, nobody's celebrating the death of those kids, but we just can't help being a bit happy that we're not going to get robbed by the man anymore." As Kieran, clearly a bit annoyed, his eye twitches, he says something, he goes, "Really? Okay. Well, how about I ask you this, and I ask all of you this. When the ogres are done picking at the bones of the children and at my scumbag lord, where do you think they're gonna go next?" The music stops at that. And a look of concern fills the people's faces before the bar atop the table just laughs it off, goes, "Oh, nothing, ignore him. Let's continue on," as he just starts playing the music again, but there's a bit of an air of concern that fills the room a bit more than after that, as he rolls his eyes and just goes, "The folk here are a bit simple, celebrating both the death of a man, while not saying that they're celebrating the death of his family, also not acknowledging that they're likely next on the menu."
You make a valid point, my friend. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Wiz.
Yeah, go ahead, Rogue.
No, you're good. Continue.
That's all I had to say. That he makes a valid point.
Yes, I heard from the guards entering the town that there was an ogre attack, and I heard just from the bartender about what happened.
Yes. It was, Unpleasant, to say the least. But sorry, my manners. Kieran Dodson, I don't recognize you all from the town, and you're not celebrating the death of the Lord, so I figure you're not from here.
Outsiders. My name's Carolina.
Isaac, pleasure to meet you.
They call me Wiz.
Good to meet the three of you. If you'd like to have a seat, please join me. It'd be some welcome change from the, well, fools of the bar currently.
I'll sit down and I'll like pass over the ale I got for him.
So take a sip of it. Wayne still goes, still does nothing. As he sets it down.
Do you mind me asking if you were there when the attack happened?
Yes, I was certainly there. Watched my dear Lord Ladir get his head bitten off by an ogre. Not the most unpleasant thing I've ever seen in my life. But rather unpleasant still.
I don't envy you in that respect.
I don't envy the man who got his head bit off. He takes a sip of the ale.
Was it an ambush, or...?
They must have been planning for a while. I know it sounds strange to say with them being ogres and all, but they set upon the estate rather quickly and rather intelligently, quite honestly. It appeared to be some sort of ambush, yes. We didn't have a lot of guard on site.
Besides you, who else made it out?
Couple of other guard. Maybe. Don't know. Haven't asked around to see if there are any other survivors. I know that the judge was there. But I don't know if she got out.
Isaac would know just by him saying judge what the judge is. And
Yeah. There's a Temple of Law in town, and you'd know of the Temple of Law. Temple of Laws have judges, and judges are religiously designated individuals in the Erithus Church.
Have you thought about going back to maybe find out any survivors, or
thought about it? I have, but it's not unlikely for me to do. I want to make sure the town's protected so that if they set upon the town, we can do something about it here. That's more important to me than going on a fool's errand and getting myself killed.
How many ogres were left when you got out of there?
There are 3 ogres that were there. I think we took down one of them. They had some undead with them as well.
What kind of undead?
Zombies, from what I could see. Didn't see any other types.
would Isaac know if ogres are known to use necromancy?
Ogres aren't particularly known for much aside from like being big brutes.
Yeah.
But roll history. You'd know that ogres, like any other race, can perform magic and can do magic. But you don't. They're not particularly known for it.
Are you saying that the ogre was a necromancer?
Seemed like it, yes.
It's very interesting and disconcerting.
Well,
yeah.
It was certainly not easy to deal with, I'll tell you that much.
Well, I know you're concerned about the safety of the town if the ogres decide to come here. Is there anything outsiders would be able to do to help?
If you want to help defend the town in case they attack, that'd be up to you. Unless you're looking to go deal with the ogre problem at the source.
Source sounds... source is what I was thinking.
Well,
in a way, maybe ambush them back.
if you want to go do that, that certainly could work. If you want to go attack them. I mean, but if you're looking to get paid, I doubt anybody in this town could give you nary a copper for the job.
Carolina, don't take this the wrong way, but you don't seem like the kind of woman who works for free.
I will say, if you're able to find the key and get in, there is a rather full vault that is stocked full of magical items and such.
Well, now you have my attention.
And what about anything else in the state?
I'm sure there are other items of value in the estate as well.
So, if we were to take care of the ogres, is it safe to say that some things in the estate are safe to take?
Well, I suppose you'd have to ask Lord Ladia for that, and unfortunately, he's not in a position where he can really talk to anybody. Around this time, the doors to the tavern swing open as Josie, Silas, Beryl, and Astrid, the four of you, have been led to the tavern. You look in and you see merrymaking that is somewhat died down. Looking around, you see Isaac, Carolina, and Wiz at a table at the back with a individual that I described before and showed.
Before they, come over to us, I would say I would have to talk to the other associates that I'm with, but I'm sure there's something that we can work up to take care of the problem.
That would be mighty noble of you if you did. It would certainly solve one problem from happening before it reached here.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that vault. You'd find some rather interesting things in there.
And you said that there, a judge was there too, that you're not sure if she's...
Yes,
dead or
Judge
alive?
Madeline Lloyd.
Yeah. So then I guess I would see that the door would open.
Yes, and the others came in.
Oh. Right on time, I see.
As you'd see them at the table. The others.
I'm going to get something to drink, sister. Would you like me to get you something?
Yes.
Wine or water?
Water.
You know, nod his head and head over. I assume Jake, we see them sitting at the table.
Yes.
If you want to start informing our companions of the contract, I'll get our drinks and meet you over there.
Oh! Can you see if they've got any elven wine?
You know what? I will look to see if they have any elven wine.
I'll go make my way over to the table.
Okay. As the four of you are going over to the table, aside from Silas, right?
Astrid's actually going to go back outside.
Okay. Astrid exits the building. What are you going to do outside?
Oh, she's going to play violin.
Okay. As you are outside playing violin. Silas, you go up to the bar, and you get the barkeep's attention as he goes, can I help you? As he leans over the counter, pulling in close to actually be able to hear you.
Do you happen to have elven wine, sir?
We do. It's expensive.
What's expensive?
2 gold per cup.
So I'll have one cheap wine, sweet, not dry.
How cheap are you looking?
We'll say mid-shelf.
Okay. It'll be 2 silver.
A water. And a question. Do you know where the paladin Karen Dodson might be?
I do. He nods over to him at the table of where your companions are heading to and where they are.
I see my friends that came in before us are already speaking with him. Great happenstance.
1 copper for the water.
I will hand him 3 silver for change.
Okay. He would give you the copper that you are owed back.
Right. I'll slide him back 4 of the copper, so I only have 5 then.
So he nods to you and goes, "Thank you for that then, sir."
You're quite welcome. Pick up the 2 drinks and head over towards the table.
Okay. So back to the table, this before you get there. Beryl, Josie, the 2 of you approach.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Did you end up figuring out the ID situation?
Yes, we're gonna fight some ogres.
Yeah. How about
This wouldn't
that?
be at an estate, would it?
What? Yeah. How'd you know?
I turn to Kieran and I go, "Well, Kieran, my friend, looks like your answer just rolled into town."
Yes. I suppose there are some coincidences left in the world, as he takes a sip from his mug.
Is this Kieran Dodson?
That's the name, yes. Good to meet you.
I take his hand and shake it.
Shakes your hand. Really strong grip.
I give the same amount of pressure.
What's your strength score?
20, sir.
Okay, you do. I think you do. Yeah,
Does
you
that
do.
mean y'all managed to make the same deal that we did?
Well, we were in the process of making a deal. There was no coin exchanged or anything like that. We were just gathering information.
I can't say I can make a deal, anything like that. I can't pay anyone anything. I can only give information.
Oh, we spoke to the cleric at the law building.
There certainly are clerics there. So it would make sense if you spoke to one. Let me guess, he cut you some sort of deal, likely asking for the deed to the estate.
He did.
Yes, that does sound like one of them.
I got to sign some papers.
By the way, his armor has a symbol of Erithus emblazoned on the shoulder pad of it.
You signed papers. Did somebody read them beforehand?
Astra did.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
We were a little bit in a bind because of the whole ID thing.
By this point, Silas makes it over.
No one to make IDs.
I'll
Only person who
hand,
makes IDs is in the estate with the ogres. So
Ah, yes, the judge.
Yes, the judge. As I'll hand her the water, Josie, and take a sip of my wine, look over at Beryl and go, "They do have elven wine, but it's very expensive. Otherwise, I would have actually gotten it for you. It's 2 gold.
Oh, I have those.
No, if you go ask the bartender for a mug of elven ale, he will give you one, I'm sure.
It's elven
He
ale.
might...
Elven
Wine.
wine.
Oh, I didn't say ale. Sorry, I would have said that. That was me messing up, not Silas. Sorry, you said wine.
No worries.
Yeah, and I would recommend at least making a small tip if you're buying such an expensive beverage.
Small tip. Right.
Less than a silver, up to a silver, like half a silver to a silver at least.
And she's like holding 2 gold pieces in her hands, like.
You know what? And I'm gonna just give.
I can do it. I can do it.
Oh, okay.
And I
put back the money.
briskly make my way to the bar.
How tall is Beryl?
She's pretty tall. She is 6'2".
How tall is Silas?
Shorter than that. 5'11".
As he takes a sip from his ale, he just winces and looks down at it and shakes his head again and goes, I've never seen someone that much taller than another get parented around by the other.
Barrel's new to things here. And by here, I mean...
The bigger here, I can tell.
Yes.
Has that air about her.
So, the deal that we have is to take care of the ogres, clear all of them out, including the half-ogres, to find the judge, should she be living, should she not, find... I don't know why even bother downsetting my note.
Her rights.
Yeah, should she not be alive, her rights, and find the deed. Should we do all of this, we are all welcome to one magical item apiece from the vaults.
Generous offer.
I thought so as well.
Did,
Something tantalizing about the items are just looking to do good.
Well,
I don't generally do things without some sort of compensation, be it a favor of note or item or coin. So I would say doing some good while getting paid for it.
I would agree, but after what you told me, Kieran, I would also just want to do this because of what you said. That
One of those types that want to help people who are in danger in case innocents come to risk. He smiles to you and goes, very noble of you.
You said that to me, or?
Yes.
I had a similar experience with an ambush a few years back, so I understand where you're coming from.
Well, I can give you all whatever information you'd like, but I can't come with you. I want to defend the town and such, you know. Before continuing any further, Beryl, you go to the bar?
Yes.
As you make it to the barkeep looks over, gets close and goes, yes, how can I help you? Should try and, actually hear you.
Hi there! I'd like an elven wine.
Right, it's going to be 2 gold pieces for a cup.
I take the 2 gold pieces and I put it down on the bar, and I take a third one out, and I go, and I need copper and silver.
How would you like me to break up the gold, then?
I don't know how you normally do it.
Normally,
maybe a small hammer.
I meant, a gold piece is worth 10 silver, 100 copper. What do you want?
He didn't tell me about that part.
I tried.
Well,
I thought Astrid and Carolina explained basic economics.
She did cover a crash course.
Can I have
The
it?
key word was tried. I don't know if it's stuck.
Can I just have and she gives the third piece of gold. Can you do half and half?
It's me doing math in my head right now.
10 silver and 100 copper.
5 silver and 50 copper.
Yes. I could do that, yes. So he would give you 5 silver and 50 copper.
Okay.
And he would pour you a glass of elven wine. It is a very red wine as it pours into the cup.
I would give him 1 piece of silver.
So you'd nod to you and go, "Thank you for that, ma'am."
And I'd take a small sip really quick at the bar.
It's very sweet.
And I take it with both hands and I go, "Thank you very much, sir." And I
Nods
turn
to you.
around and I go back to the
Okay.
table.
As Beryl, you'll make it back to the table in a bit. As back at the table, Astrid, are you doing anything outside still, or are you just playing?
She's just playing to the moon.
Okay. As back at the table.
Very good.
Aye, I'm sure it is.
So what do you all do?
Kieran, we were hoping to acquire some information on logistics of the situation.
I'll tell you what I can.
What remains of the enemy and where they may be.
I can tell you I wasn't counting how many of them there were when I, was fighting. But as I said before, there were 3 ogres. One of them is dead. A couple of zombies that were with them as well. And a bunch of half-ogres. At least about 9 of them. So
You didn't see any of the 9 half-ogres fall?
Like I said, I wasn't very focused on that. I may have seen 1 or 2 get cut down, but...
I understand. I'm not asking for any reason other than just to be as aware as possible.
I'm just letting you know.
Most people... Is the ogre that was felled the necromancer, or one
Certainly
of the
not.
You mentioned earlier a key to the estate.
Yes.
Do you have that, or is the key to something else?
I imagine it'd be on the corpse of my lord, so possibly it would be in the belly of the ogre, or the ogre has it. Ogre didn't seem like it was an idiot, so it probably knows the key is.
Where is the vault you said located?
The vault's on the 2nd floor.
How many floors in total are there?
2. Not a large estate.
Does this place have a back door or a cellar, someplace that we could maybe slip in unnoticed?
No, the servants' quarters and areas where they would work were upstairs.
Is the only entrance the main entrance?
Give me 1 second. Well, there was a window that was caved in by the ogres at the side of the estate. And a wall at the back of the garden that was caved in. Aside from that, not a lot of entrances to it, no. Only the 2 at the front. It's not a very large estate, as I said. The ladies were not exactly the most wealthy people.
Besides the judge, who else was still there? Do you know of any other?
I don't know of any other survivors. I don't even know if the judge survived. I departed as soon as I realized it was a lost cause. And that the town would likely be the next target.
We have to clear out all of them anyways. So if there are any survivors, without needing a list, we should come upon them.
Perhaps some of the children survived. They can get into smaller places where the ogres can't reach. But that would also be just me. wanting that to be true.
Are there any small or hidden corridors in the estate?
Not that I would know of. I'm not the type who could fit in them.
Were there any secret in the wall corridors that your lord used?
No, like I said, it's not too expensive of an estate. We didn't have any secret corridors, anything like that. Perhaps if we did, it could have avoided this. You would have been able to escape more readily.
Makes sense. Well, we were recommended, looking to the rest of the party members, we were recommended to rest the evening, and I have to agree, before we go to deal with this. As well, we could then do some shopping in the morning before we go. There's an arcanum.
Arcanum, yes.
There's an arcanum, no enchanta, before anyone asks. And honestly, I'm sure Isaac would perhaps be willing to, or not, I'm sure, I hope Isaac would be willing to join me in looking for a potential bookshop.
That sounds very exciting.
Oh, good luck there. There's not going to be a bookshop in town. If you're going to the Arcanum, that's the most likely place you'll be able to get any sort of book.
Twice the reason to go there, then.
So Wiz handed out a key to each of you except for Astrid, because Astrid's outside. So all of you have your key. Wiz, you do not see Astrid inside. You may have seen her stepped outside. I'd leave that up to you or up to Astrid if she was trying to be sneaky stepping out.
She was being sneaky.
Okay, so you might have saw her step outside. But you gave everyone else the key.
And he'd step outside looking for Astrid.
You can find her. She's just outside on the porch, right?
Yep, she didn't go far.
Okay, she's just outside playing her violin.
He would just wordlessly hand her a key, just kind of absent-mindedly, and then walk away.
Astrid, if you think you'd notice, you would receive the key.
Yeah, she noticed.
Okay, so you take the key. And then head back inside, Wiz?
Yeah. He's gonna go upstairs to his room.
Okay. Are you going to do anything, Astrid, after that?
How long have I been out here?
Maybe about 15 minutes.
Then another 15.
Okay. As you're outside playing, back to the table then. As Wiz, you head upstairs, though, and you go to your room. As you find, entering, the keys are labeled, so you have room number 3. As you enter into the room, you find a rather nice-looking room, not as nice as the Padfoot Inn's room, with a small single bed. I say small, but it's big for you. It's a basic room. It has a drawer, it has a wardrobe, it has a single table with a chair and a rug.
What color is the rug?
Who knows? So you doing anything in the room, Riz, or are you just gonna head to bed?
Well, he just heads to bed.
Okay. As Riz heads to bed. Fair enough. The table.
I'm going.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Ben.
Silas is just going to say, well, if there's any other information that you think is important for us to know that you think of, I'm going to be just outside the front door briefly.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Just, careful in that vault. There's a lot of weird things in there.
Any items that do anything negative upon touching them?
I wouldn't know. They haven't asked me to do any exorcisms or removing of curses. I just know that, there are strange things in there.
Well, thank you for that. And Silas is going to go outside to where he saw Astrid go, hoping to find the music.
Okay, you find Astrid outside.
Just sit down, not like right next to her, but in the vicinity.
Okay.
Hope you don't mind listening to a pair of ears.
I doubt you'll understand what I'm saying anyway.
What language are you saying things in?
The violin.
Oh,
Just
okay.
playing the violin.
Gotcha. I enjoyed listening to it before resting the other day, so I hoped to do the same.
I'm always willing to have an audience if you'd like.
So I was just nod his head and kind of cross his legs and just sit there quietly and listen.
Okay. As you sit there quietly and listen.
Pull out shit. Name of the book.
Which one? You have
The
several.
one that I've already been reading but didn't finish reading. The
Winter
one that has the Winter Remembrance in it.
Yes. The one that you're almost done with but haven't read again yet.
Yeah.
You had a bit left of it. I don't remember exactly how long.
The Raven Queen and Winter Remembrance. That was the name of the book. Just had to look back at my old journal. But, yep, I'm just reading for that while I listen.
Yeah, you have 8 out of the 12 hours you need finished for it.
Yep. I'll even if she stops, I'm going to be reading for at least 1 hour before I go to my room.
Okay. So you'll get you'll be at 9 out of 12.
Okay.
With the slower pace. Okay. As you do that, Astrid, you're going to play for 15 minutes and then...
Then she'll bid Silas good night and go inside.
I'll nod to her and just keep reading.
You going to go to bed upstairs or...
Who's downstairs still?
Well, then I have to go back for a bit. So what are you all doing at the table after Silas leaves? I'll rewind for a bit.
Just drinking.
I would, I'd be drinking and talking with Kieran. Where would I be able to find you once everything is done?
I'm staying here. I used to stay at the estate, but, well, you know. So are you actually just talking with him through the entire time you're here?
I guess I would talk to him a little more, like find out some more information. Just like
Sure.
nothing like big, just like
roll an insight check as you're speaking with him.
I have something that gives me more.
If you do, go tell me what it is. You may have something related to persuasion. From your trait, at the very least.
Yeah, no, I can use my charisma instead of intelligence, so instead of a 9, it's a 10.
Okay. Well, you talk to him, and it mostly seems normal, but it's odd. Maybe it's, shock or grief, but there's almost a very slight, very, very slight, what's the word? Apathy towards the situation that he seems to have. Like I said, it seems like it's very slight, and you only catch it about once, but you're not sure. It could be shock. You know, sometimes people react that way to things like that.
A lack of apathy to the situation.
No, he has. There's an apathy toward it. As an apathy being like he just doesn't really care. For a moment, you believe you find that for a moment.
But he doesn't care about what happened, or just in general.
Doesn't seem to care about the situation. Doesn't, you know? Apathy is more defined as is like an indifference.
Yeah. No, I know that I was confused on
so
what
things happen and he's indifferent about them at this point.
Yeah.
Like I said, it seems like a
cold
cold indifference. Like, again, you attribute it that it could possibly just be grief, or not grief, shock.
All right. So then I guess once I'm talking to him, because it's kind of late, I would head up to bed then.
How long would you stay downstairs before going to bed?
I guess like about well, what time did we get there?
It's later in the night. It's like 12.
I would say well, that's what the current time is. It's 12
a.m.
That'd probably like 12:15, and then head out.
So you're waiting 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Beryl, what are you doing, and how long are you staying downstairs?
Just finishing my drink, spending time. I would definitely, I would. Would it be made apparent at any point that the dancing and the music and everything was linked directly to the death of the Lord?
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
It was said it was said by the guard captain that they're likely celebrating at the bar right now.
Right, okay.
And then also, if you asked what it was, they probably at least Kieran would have likely told you, or the bartender would have told you.
Okay. So she probably really wants to dance, but she won't.
Okay.
Knowing that it's,
kind of weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she would just go to bed around the same time that everybody else does. You good?
Isaac, what are you doing?
Isaac will attempt to make small talk with Josie, and when that goes nowhere, he will turn to Kieran. And
go right ahead.
I go right ahead. We already roleplayed it.
I know. I saw.
Okay. But he'll say to Kieran, Kieran, there's just one thing that's kind of bothering me.
Hi.
And I think it's good information to have in case things go south when we go up to the estate. But how exactly did you escape?
I ran.
But aren't you sworn to protect even in the worst case scenario?
Let me ask you this question. Is it better to protect in a situation where you know you're going to die and have it be your last protection? Or to live another day and protect more people, knowing that with your life you can do more?
I suppose the latter. I mean, I know the latter.
He looks to you and you say, I ran when I had to do, simply because I knew that I could do more good in town protecting the people here, if they came upon the town.
Can I roll an insight check?
Absolutely. He's hard to read, but he's not giving you any reason to believe he's lying.
No, your judgment was fair. I guess this is unfair of me, but I guess stereotype of paladins being somewhat of brave fools.
You're looking for Bahamut paladins there. Not us folk here at Erithus. We know the value that one life can have for a later scenario.
Well, you'll receive no judgment from me.
He nods to you.
Right. I believe it's time for me to turn in. And he says that with a little bit of dread. You could hear that in his voice. I'll give that to you guys. When he says turn in.
Hope you'll sleep well then, friend.
I hope so too. And he'll depart to his room.
Okay. Josie, what are you doing?
Well, after the disastrous beverage conversation. She'll, yeah.
You're doing great.
She'll just sit and sort of take in the surroundings.
Okay, how long are you sitting?
45 minutes?
Okay, so, Astrid, when you make your way back in, Beryl, and Carolina and Josie are still at the table.
Okay, she will go to the bar and ask for a tea, if they have it, and if lemon in it, but they don't, just tea.
They would... Would they have tea? Yeah, they'd have tea. Okay, you'd be charged the 3 copper.
Okay. Then she goes sit down with the group.
Okay. And are you all just going to sit down for a bit and then eventually go to bed? Are you talking about anything?
I think I've got anything.
No. Okay. So, should I just assume that everyone goes to bed eventually?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all of you head up the stairs and call it in for the night. As that is where we're going to call session. With you all calling it in for the night. What?
After finishing the first hour outside, he would see how close he is to the end and just finish reading before going to sleep in his room.
Okay. Okay. Alright. So you'd finish your book. As the book would be finished, you'd gain what you get that I said you'd get from doing it. Okay. Everyone heads to bed, though, as that is where we're going to call session. Next week, we will pick up in the morning with you all arising and continuing on. As that's the session. I hope you all had fun. As next week, we will continue on this humble adventure and possibly run into some ogres.
Woohoo! So, can we assume that we received a long rest?
Yeah, you're going to get a long rest. All of you get a long rest.
Alright.
Yes. So all of you assume long rest and give yourselves stuff for the long rest. Hope you all had fun. Thank you for coming. Next week we'll be back. Same bat time, same bat channel, you know. I will be back in a moment. I'm going to say goodbye to the stream.
Goodbye, stream.
Bye, stream.
You guys can say goodbye if you
it's
want
too late.
to. No, I'm still here.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Now I'm going to go say goodbye to the stream. Okay. Hello. It's me. Just me. Not as exciting. I know. Thank you for watching along, those of you that did. If you had a good time doing so, make sure to hop on by next week to see where this adventure continues and what goes on, as we will continue on seeing them possibly encounter some ogres and such. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.